we go. You're live now. Say something, you gimp.
How rude. Hey, everybody. We're back to do,
More funny shit.
Well, we were going to, originally we were going to mostly finish the things that we didn't get to on Wednesday because while we were streaming on Wednesday, because when we were, and then Biden opened his mouth, and probably several other orifices, I would imagine. But Jim was streaming on Wednesday and Ricada with Sargon, so it was just like nobody was going to show up to listen to us rant. Although I did really appreciate those of you who stuck around while we basically just stream sniped Mr. Mediker. But so we were going to come back yesterday and do another stream, but I was feeling terrible. Because no, it's because there's a serendipity in life, my dude. I mean, I did get drunk. Don't get it twisted. But I had no. That's not why though. I had written my big complaint or my bitch on Ricada's YouTube in the comments.
I saw that.
Yeah, in his debate with that idiot Duncan McLeod or whatever his name was. But then I had a little bit to drink and I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's in the YouTube comments, but I'm going to basically reiterate this on Twitter. Talked about how well that drug has worked to treat the disease that I have, but why it shouldn't be given to little kids. The next freaking day I have a flare-up, and I'm in horrible pain. I'm like, oh, great. That's, thanks, God. I understand that you work in mysterious ways, but that's certainly some kind of weird serendipity I didn't ask for on that one. All right. So yesterday, I was like, yesterday, it's a write-off. I felt terrible. And didn't want to do shit. So,
I was busy writing funny shit, because that's what I do.
Anyway, it turned out to be okay, because when we would have been streaming yesterday, or I guess a little bit later, Biden decided to open his fucking stupid mouth.
And say the same shit he says every damn time he does open his mouth.
Yeah, but this was a pretty bad look, and we want to watch the thing. We'll put it on. We'll speed it up because he's already pretty slow. But we also, I think, want to.
Can you show the intro? Because the intro is where it's really funny, like him walking.
Oh, I actually didn't have that in my version.
So comedically, it's like 10 minutes in.
No, I know. I have to find another stream for it though. It's not in that one. That one's cut.
Sure?
So yeah.
Look at the White House one.
It's cut so that it just starts with him. But I'll find it. Don't take it.
No, the White House stream.
The White House one?
Yeah, the White House one has him walking in.
Okay. I mean, I've seen it all over, but yeah, let's see.
I feel sorry for anyone who streamed this because you're just gonna get downvoted to galore.
Well, they don't actually. Huh? But it's here. They may have moved it. I don't know. Certainly there's some. I guess I have it downloaded because what I did is at first, when this happened, well, before we figured we were going to stream today, I put. Hang on, let's get back to when he zoom forward to when he starts to walk out. Okay.
Yeah.
I put the
it's ridiculous.
I went into my editing software and I was like, I'll make some edits to this just because it's so meme-worthy. I mean, the whole internet is making fun of this.
Yeah, oh my god.
But yeah, here we got the bells tolling. Of course, it's very.
How villainously evil do you need to make this thing look?
This is about as. I mean, I tried. Like, what I was gonna say is that I put in the Imperial March shittily played on a kazoo instead of, this.
Whom the bell tolls.
And it didn't make it any to change it.
Watch this.
I know, watch it. It's crazy.
Jill Biden.
It wasn't better or worse. I think it was worse with the shitty kazoo, Imperial March. And then it turns red! It's so scary!
Yes, what are you doing?
It's so scary! By the way, you do also know that yesterday was the anniversary of the start of World War II, right?
Really?
Yeah. So hence all the, as we'll get to, the pedo Hitler stuff. Extra interesting. God, she looks kind of dead inside too.
Country. That's the plastic surgery.
Yeah, but I mean, because Biden's not there at all. He's just out. He's out for lunch, man. I think he's out for everything. And they try to make it more red. They make it more red. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, but oh my God, it's bruh.
Okay, I have to ask, and I asked V this question because he didn't have an answer, and neither do I. Why would you do this?
That was what I think a lot of our discussion tonight was going to be about, is what was the purpose of this? I mean...
Because you cannot make this look more villainous if you tried.
We also have to listen to his words in terms of talking about villainy.
But the thing, this is what I just find so funny, because I thought to myself...
He called 74 million people traitors.
Yeah, but that's not the bit, like, I'm trying to focus purely on the aesthetic. That, when I was looking at it, I just thought, there's only two ways I can play this, in my mind. One is, first of all... like, one is the incompetence, which is just like, it isn't. I refuse to believe that one because it's too obvious.
It's just to send a message. This is be afraid.
But
this is be afraid.
Yeah, but it's not fear. It just looks common. It looks so comedically villainous. I can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
That's how I view it. But that's also, I thought maybe that's the point, because it's so disarming.
Oh, it's disarming. I think this is horrifying.
No, because it looks so like every other thing that you think like, oh, this cannot be taken seriously.
It looks straight out of V for Vendetta, is what it looks like.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like it looks so comedically exaggerated that you won't take it seriously. That's the disarming part.
I don't know if I agree with that at all. I don't think that's accurate. I think look, one thing that we've talked about extensively since we started doing this. I can hear myself in your background.
You can now. Yeah, now I can.
How is that possible?
Well, I can hear myself in the background.
I have no idea how that would be possible because I have headphones on and...
Is it coming out of somewhere else?
How would that be possible? It can't. I have no idea that...
Is it because of the stream?
I'm stun locked. I don't even understand how that would... I mean, we've done it before with no problem.
Weird.
I'm literally fucking stun locked because I don't understand how that's even possible.
That seems to be okay now.
Okay. I don't know. I don't even... there's no... I mean, if no settings have been changed, so I have no... Oh, that was me accidentally hitting my mic.
I was going to say, just don't...
I'm literally stun locked. I have no idea what would be causing that.
Is kicking in.
Okay. Wow, and I've lost my train of thought too.
Hellspawn, demons. Why would you do this?
Oh yeah, why would he do it? I think they're just gonna. I mean, after they just raided Mar-A-Lago. No, they just raided Mar-A-Lago. We'll go over it. Biden said just the other day that you have no way to defend yourself from the government. And you just can't. You can't defend yourself. I think that they're just we've talked about what we've talked about many times, which is that when the Democrats and the people in power say democracy, our sacred democracy,
it's code for our regime,
the Democrat Party and the Unit Party to a larger degree. It is our political hegemony. It will never be questioned, and if you do question it, you will be crushed. We will take away. I mean, COVID was just the
testing ground,
dry run, yeah. Animation Limited, I don't know. We're going to try to see if we can get to it in 2 hours to get to the movie, but we couldn't stream yesterday because I was really sick. So
how passive are the lemmings really? How much anger is in them when they're stress tested, basically?
Yes, Timid Falconite, that's exactly right. When they say our democracy, what they mean is our power.
Yep.
They use the word democracy because they know that people think democracy, think it's good. Yeah, they think it's inherently good, and I mean we've in many of these discussions in the past
of founding fathers hate democracy.
Well, they didn't hate it, but they were very skeptical of it. They were very, very skeptical of it. That's why the U.S. is not a democracy. It's why it's a democratic republic. But that being said, I mean, so much of this is being stripped away. And I talked to you earlier about this. I messaged you, and I wonder if any of you in the chat have a similar experience. Is that when I was coming up in school, in high school and stuff, the way that democracy and the American Revolution is taught to children is that it was this amazing, perfect thing where, the stood up against tyranny and, all democracy is good forever. And there is a strange thing that I think I've seen happen with people who have grown up in that system of thinking that democracy is inherently good. So if a system is democratic, even if it's only democratic on paper, eventually it will right itself, because democracy always ends up with the right choices, because the will of the people will always make, good choices for themselves. And if they make a bad choice, they'll fix it. And we'll, so if there's a bad president, don't worry, we'll vote him out and we'll vote for a better one, next time. And the allegory or the connection that it made me think about when I was typing about this earlier is that it reminds me so much of those scenes from Shaun of the Dead, where Shaun is like, here's what we'll do. We'll get mom and dad, we'll get in the car, we'll, go to the Winchester, get a pint and wait for all this to blow over. And even over the course of the movie, as shit is getting more and more just screwed up because it's a zombie apocalypse, he keeps having that idea that we'll just do these things. We'll go to the place and do the same things we've always done, and it will eventually blow over no matter how screwed up things are. And I feel like there are people who have that idea of democracy largely because of the American education system, that it's just, if we just keep going along with it, it will blow over. That's how great democracy is. It will be just like we go to the Winchester and get a pint and wait for it all to blow over. I don't know if this is blowing over, but they can keep people satiated and keep them calm by constantly using that word democracy. It's Pavlovian, isn't it?
Yes.
I think many Americans.
The return of the king.
Well, I think it is Pavlovian to many Americans that when they hear the word democracy, they think inherently good. And it doesn't matter if what you're doing isn't even really democratic at some point. As long as,
I've read too much to look favorably on democracy. I look democracy now, I'm like, this is the thing that must be crushed in order for the king to reemerge. I must get rid of you. What the hell people want.
Let's just ignore that. How's stuff working out in the U.S. in terms of? Now, remember, of course, the Democrats all claimed that the election was stolen in 2016, right?
Yeah.
And that
there was no evidence of this
very
whatsoever.
very easy to steal an American election in 2016. Now we're all nice and fortified. And let me just say, I'm not sure. I mean, we'll see what happens. Biden in his glowing approval rating, which we looked at it.
I am going to laugh when they get annihilated into smithereens, because I've noticed they're desperately
trying.
They will? Oh my god, yes.
Why? No, because, why? I mean, you think that'll be allowed? Because I don't think it's allowed anymore.
No, because
I think that's all over.
No, because you're really black-pilled, and I don't like talking to you about this shit.
I just think it's over. I don't think they're gonna let. I mean, you're gonna. Oh yeah, you can go vote, sure, but it doesn't matter what you do. I don't think in that way. I don't think that's gonna matter.
Tell it to Liz Cheney.
I mean, I suppose so, but I suppose so. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if my blackpilling is accurate or not.
Yeah, I'm telling you, go watch that Razor Fist video, because you piss me off with your dowriness. I just knew.
I just look. How can you be like?
I want to see the return of the king and then crush this living shit out of everyone.
How can you be like, wow, Aiden, why are you so black-pilled when Biden walks out here in front of his freaking, like, Imperial March red
Aiden,
scary thing?
How many of Trump's Republicans have won?
Several of them have.
It's not several, it's like over 90% of them. The Republican Party is now dominated by MAGA candidates. Why do you think they do this shit if they thought they could beat him? That's why the propaganda is there for. It's to demoralize you, and you simp, you drink the stupid crap. I don't. I'm a lot more white-pilled than you, because I can see it's currently winning.
Look, I know a lot of it is demoralization, but I also think eventually that they've spent so much time building up this idea in a lot of people, in the heavy media consumers, the people who already believe in this stuff. The people on the right are evil, and Biden goes through it more and more on this.
It's not winning.
But my point is, that is how you get a real totality. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter. Because it's not winning. They're losing. They suck.
But they don't care about votes. Because they don't care anymore.
No, actually, they do still care about votes.
Biden straight up said, "You can't do anything. We've got all the guns. We've got all the tanks."
Yes, but they don't have their votes.
I mean, I don't. But
what do you think they did in 2020? You think all that shit was straight above board? Like, really?
No, of course I don't.
Exactly.
That's why I don't think.
Ask all the people that had their voting laws changed against, like, the state legislation.
Yeah. So why would it have changed?
Because it's actually been overturned, and a lot of them took the defortification away, and they're screeching like a bunch of high fucking... Why do you think all that voting rights crap was about? It didn't get passed.
We'll see.
Well, by the way, when November comes around and they get absolutely mauled to pieces, I am going to mock you for the next week.
Furious Dan, I think that is right.
I'm going to just tweet at you over and over again.
Okay, I think Furious Dan is right. That part of this might be trying to bait the right into overextending, maybe.
No, I'm fully aware of the terrorism they're trying to antagonize.
Oh, they really want the right to do a terrorism.
Yeah, but it's not going to work because the right are not. That's not in the right. The right just want to be left alone. Like, you guys are really gay, yeah. It's like, can you just please leave our kids alone and just, fuck off?
Absolutely not, because if they reproduce by indoctrinating other people's children's. Anyway,
the wife reproduces by, having sex. It's very difficult to have sex and reproduce when you don't even know what the hell men and women are. So
well, and that high amount of soy can mess with your testosterone levels, or so I've read in just a few medical journals that they've tried to rescind that.
Or an
phytoestrogens aren't. Well, phytoestrogens. Anyway, let's listen to Dark Brandon's speech. That is, if nothing else, let's say it's a terrible look. How about that? If nothing else,
it's also really boring.
Yeah, for the most part.
Because it is the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Well, let's hear it.
Have a seat. Take it. I speak to you tonight from sacred ground in America.
Yeah, that red light is really sacred.
This is where America made its declaration of independence to
again,
the world.
Also, on the anniversary of World War II starting.
By the way, you don't find it funny that the ending song to this, they played God Save the Queen?
I know, dude. I couldn't believe it.
I'm going to start off by declaring the independence and then play God Save the Queen.
Is he declaring himself? I mean, is that the message? Is that the message that, this is your monarch now? Hey, look, guys, that's not what we asked for.
He's not a monarch. He's gay as hell.
No shit.
This is where we set in motion the most extraordinary experiment of self-government the world has ever known.
How's it turning out?
With 3 simple words: we the people. We the people. These 2 documents and the ideas they embody, equality and democracy, are the rock upon which this nation is built.
It's not, by the way, but okay.
They're how we became the greatest nation on earth.
No, it's liberty.
I was going to say liberty is what built you, not equality. Yeah. Equality doesn't build shit.
What the fuck, equality? Equality under the law to a certain degree, but that was not in what the founding fathers meant at all. To be able to vote, you had to be a white landowning male. Okay, that's not equality.
A society of equality is a society that strives for nothing.
Yeah.
You want to build a prosperous society, then you let people do whatever the hell they want. The second you say, I've said this before, or I want to make this video. Like, imagine if you had a society, this is going to sound a bit weird. The right-leaning society is, imagine a big society, and there's a wall around them, and you had cannons aiming outside the city. That's the right city. Like, the one thing government should do, defend the land. If it's a left-leaning city, the cannons are facing inward, and the second one person gets one building a little bit higher than everybody else, the cannon shoots it. In the impression that money will rain from the smithereens, the cannon, and just filter down to the people. And then no one can ever build the one high tower again, because if they do, the camera's just going to shoot it down. That's how they view the world. There must be one cannon to just level anyone that gets above everybody else.
I mean, again, I've said it before. It's the Harrison Bergeron paradigm. That's what so much of the social justice stuff is just, tear everybody else down. Because you can't build up people to be better than they have the capacity to be. We all have limits. That's the thing. Some people are great at some things and terrible at others.
also, if you can't succeed above everybody else because someone is going to stop you if you get to a certain point, why would you try?
Yeah, good question. I mean, why excel in anything? Because they'll just shut you down.
Yeah,
that's where we're at now. That's where we've been, tumbling toward at an extremely quick pace. Because again, when you look at young people, Zoomers and such, and you ask them like, what do you want to do? It's like 80% of them or something say that they want to do some sort of social media thing or be an influencer. None of them want to have any kind of job. Very few of them want to do or create anything.
I can't say on that front.
again, we can't say too much shit. Neither of us can on that front either, right? But,
I didn't do this willingly. I was told to by two people.
Well, I mean, I was working on my PhD, and then it got in some shit, and then politically,
I was, to be fair though,
here.
I have been told by everyone who's ever met me or just heard my voice, just heard me talk, just went, if you don't do something with your voice, you are wasting your life. That's the overwhelming consensus. Like your voice, like your money is with the voice. If you don't do something with that, then I don't know what you're doing, but it's no. Your voice is like, okay, so apparently the voice is my future. So I don't do anything to damage the vocals except drink copious amounts of whiskey and beer is what I'm doing right now.
Well, there you go. Real quick, before I forget, Slayer P3 for 2 says this could just be the stage for false flags. Yeah,
Oh God, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but they had the Patriot Front people out the other day. I've got a video of them training. So I'm sure we're gonna hear more about Patriot Front, a group that just appeared out of nowhere that
they look really
that has a whole
gay.
bunch of members who are all dressed identically, but no one can find any like forums where they congregate. They've just set up and have been this incredibly organized.
You see what I mean?
Nice try, fat boy.
You see, this is what I mean. If you look at the current regime and the people in it and what they do, they don't look competent at all. They look disturbingly stupid.
By the way, like, I don't think that... My point is, I don't think this is actually scary. I think Biden intended for this to be scary, though.
Oh, is it? You think this is he's gay?
I think he meant for this to be scary, yeah. Well, whoever set this up intended for this to be scary. You've got 2 Marines in the background, in shadow, and he's got his red lights on, and he's talking about the traitors, essentially, in the U.S. government.
It would be scary if he wasn't frail as shit.
Well, that's what I mean. He can't actually pull it off.
Yeah, like
I think his handlers though
scary though.
I'm again, it's hilarious because of how bizarre it is.
Yeah, that's why.
But yeah, but I do think that he meant for this to be scary.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't work though. I do like the way that his hair is parted just to make it like he has hair, but the second he turns around, it's like a giant ball spun, like we said. It just looks. Every time he walks away like he's like, I can't take questions because I'll get in trouble. That's what's not scary. Because
I know.
Yes, because he literally says, I can't do this, I'll get in trouble. Like,
it's so weird, right?
You're not the one actually in charge of the regime. That's why it's not terrifying.
I know. He's an old CNN man who barely knows where he is, if he knows that at all. Yes. DRT is king for $5 says we all know that they're lying. They know, we know. But they can only win if we do nothing. That is true.
Yeah.
But again, don't do it. Terrorism. Obviously, look, I
am going to mock you until you grow a pair.
God, still hearing an echo for you. I
do not want my co-host to be black-pilled and gay.
Do
you hear me?
Huh?
Say yes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this. I have no idea how there could even be echo. It doesn't even make any logical sense. Hang on, I'm checking.
It's not the audio is it on Discord?
Yeah, I
don't know how though.
It doesn't make any logical sense.
We're watching a Biden video. Nothing makes sense, Aiden.
Guys, there's actually no way for you to hear the echo.
Too late, she's already gay.
There is no way. There is no way for you to hear an echo.
No, so it's not echoing through my end.
Physically impossible. Like, so it is physically impossible, but it's still happening apparently. So I'm not gonna be able to answer that. So sorry about that. There's literally nothing I can do because there is nothing at all that would cause it. I mean, I can hang up and try to call you back, but I don't know. I doubt that would work. Let's just get back into Brandon's thing.
They're why, for more than 2 centuries, America has been a beacon to the world. But as I stand here tonight, equality and democracy are under assault. We do ourselves no favor to pretend otherwise. So tonight, I've come to this place where it all began to speak as plainly as I can to the nation about the threats we face, about the power we have in our own hands to meet these threats.
Can you stop it for a second?
Yeah.
I'm going to be the great unifier. So the first thing I'm going to do is scare the shit out of you.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's the bizarre thing about that is that, yeah, I'm the great unifier, so I'm going to scare the shit out of everybody. What the fuck, dude?
It's like, dude, who are you scared of? You're scared of people who just want to be left alone to grill. Like,
yeah.
the people want nothing to do. The people hate you and they want you to fuck off. This is like, please leave me alone. You are terrible at governing. I hate your government. Please get the hell away from me. Go away. Those are not people that are terrifying. Those are people that just want to be left alone.
Yeah,
Stop telling me what to do. That's it. Like, that's not a threat to you.
I'm going to turn him up a little faster.
Eyes in front of us, if only we choose it. We must never forget.
Now it sounds like he took Hunter's drugs.
Yeah, now he's a little bit too fast. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, 2.5 is all right.
Are the true heirs of the American experiment that began more than 2 centuries.
You know, someone was yelling at him the whole time.
Yeah.
He's in the megaphone. Yeah, calling him. Was he calling him Brandon or? I can't remember.
He was either saying Brandon or fuck Joe Biden.
I think he was saying, yeah.
Years ago.
Let's go, Brandon.
We, the people, have burning inside of each of us the flame of liberty that was lit here at Independence Hall.
By the way, this is so cliched shit.
That's what I mean. Most of it's just fluff.
It's just such fluff gay shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Command and Conquer backdrop neon suspenders. Absolutely, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. You know what I don't get, right? If you look at it, if you have the capacity to make these big lights, why don't you just have like the American flag? Why does it need to be this daunting?
Well, because it's blue right outside. It's blue right when they zoom out on other side of him, on the other side of the red. There's blue, but red is a. There's research on this. It actually increases aggressive feelings. Okay.
Is that orange?
Well, orange can as well because it's close to red. You have contrasting and complementary colors. So, orange is complementary is blue, red's complement is green, etc. But the red it increases like anger, anxiety. It makes people nervous. If you had to put a color behind him, why the hell didn't you make it blue? If it was gonna, you have that right next to it. Just make this one blue and then put the red next to him. What? Blue is a calming color, a soothing color.
Yeah.
No, they had to have known how this would look because this is like most basic color theory. So that's why I said I think this was intentional. And again, I think the intent is to scare people. Of course, everyone on Earth is laughing at this, but
abolition, the Civil War, suffrage, the Great Depression, World Wars, civil rights.
All stopped by Democrats.
Still burns.
Yeah.
Now in our time.
Well, some of them were supposed to be good things, but he lumped in good and bad things. So
we build an America that is more prosperous, free, and just.
I think they turned. Did you notice they turned the light on? Did you notice they turned the light on behind him to light up the front of this building more? A white light. See, it was black before.
Oh, yeah.
10:31. They just turned it on. I think someone must have been like, holy shit, this looks so weird and scary. Yeah. Can we at least turn another light on so that he's not in front of black? Because he looks like, it looks straight out of V for Vendetta.
By the way, the fact that only one light is working is such an indication of his whole regime.
I know.
It's like an analogy.
That is the work of my presidency. A mission I believe in with my whole soul.
Speaking of the goal,
you don't have a soul. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you sold that to Moloch a long time ago.
Yes.
Speaking of which, though, the goal of his presidency wasn't the whole reason that that centrists and even center-leaning Republicans were told that they needed to not vote for Trump and instead vote for Joe Biden is because Donald Trump was dividing the country and causing hatred and animosity and making people despise each other and increasing the partisanship. And Joe Biden would be the better pick because he wouldn't divide people. And here he is about to call 74 million people, or heavily imply that they're all terrorists and fascists.
By the way, I can say this now, and I don't care if this reaches him. Sitch, that was a stupid thing to do.
Oh, because he wasn't the only one. Tons of people did that.
No, I will have a go at Sitch specifically because Sitch is smarter than this stupid shit. Apparently not.
No, I mean, I think Sitch is a smart guy, but
it's not when it comes to Biden. His attitude towards Biden is like
I can see why he would. And I can see why he would get that idea, though, and why a lot of people got that idea, because they were told every single day, every single second by the media apparatus that Trump was Hitler too, and he was going to, divide the nation, or he was dividing the nation. He was leading us towards, destruction and fascism.
I didn't
and that's
buy
why
that
you needed
for a single second, though.
No shit, because it was ridiculous, prima facie.
Well,
but
no, just not only that. It's because you could see the state of the country and the state of the world. We didn't have any wars. The economy was doing great. It was obvious that he was not going to do any of the shit. And when the Democratic cities were on fire because their own retards were smashing the shit out of it, he didn't say, "I'm going to send in the cavalry." He said, "I'm only going to help you if you tell me to," because it would look like federal overreach otherwise.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, like I'm saying, as far as the president goes, Trump was extremely measured, actually. That's like saying, if you were to just stop being a gay prick, and you were to just look at Trump as just an independent president, how did he do compared to how a president should behave? He did extremely well.
Well, of course, how president should behave, the word you just said there, they would, of course, say, oh, but he didn't act presidential, except for that one time he bombed Syria. That was presidential. Which, again, it does bring up, this is what they consider presidential. So I'm sure this is very presidential to the people in power, right?
Presidential behavior is gay.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm sure that standing in front of the red glowing lights and making veiled threats towards half of the country is very presidential. It's the same people who only said Trump was presidential when he bombed foreign nations.
Yeah. By the way,
right?
Rob said in the chat, Sitch is unusual. He's a smart guy, but there is at times where he seems disconnected from reality. I feel like everyone has that thing where
blind spot.
Yes. What's yours?
God, I've got several, I'm sure, where I can't think about something reasonably or have a fair opinion on it.
I don't think I have one.
Yeah, everybody does. Everyone has at least one. I probably have more than one, but
I think probably the
I don't know.
is probably our one.
Yeah, well, no, because I can be quite critical of that too. I think the conclusion completely out of a bunch of logical decisions. It wasn't. I mean, some of it's cool too, but that was highly analytical. I think. By the way, everyone thinks that they're analytical about stuff, and sometimes they aren't. When they think they are, myself included.
I do find it funny the monarchy argument, because anything that anyone has to go at us, literally happens under democracy as well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what if the king is tyrannical? What if your system is tyrannical and every person that goes into it becomes a tyrant because it incentivizes them to be an asshole?
Right. Yeah.
Which is what you have now. No one's touched on with a 10-foot pole.
Very true. Big Christopher too says Biden totally doesn't look like a Sith Lord, and you called him Chancellor Biden. Darth, come on, man.
That was my title because I thought it was funny.
That is great. Yeah, that's great. Redneck Ram for 10 says, for the love of all things good and holy in this world, please save us from this tyranny, eat mommy and spoon daddy, and maybe give me the next winning lottery numbers. Would make a great gift for me. Man, if I knew that.
Spoon daddy? That sounds really weird.
It was hard to read it.
The thing is, but if you said mommy Aiden, that doesn't sound so bad.
Because I've been called that a lot, though. To be fair,
but that sounds like kind of adorable. But spoon daddy sounds really weird. But mommy Aiden sounds like, that's cute.
Well, I think daddy has mommy has a sexual connotation, but really? Daddy has yeah. Show me your mommy milkers. You know what I mean?
Okay, I want anyone who says that is mentally
just if I was saying, quote, I would love to see Abigail Shapiro's giant mommy milkers, right? You know. Whereas if you say daddy, that definitely has a sexual connotation.
I don't know about you, but I don't find the word mommy sexual anyway. That's kind of creepy. Anything with parental phrases is new.
I do find it weird, the daddy thing.
Papa Spoon sounds kind of funny. That I don't mind.
Papa Spoon's fine. Papa
Spoon sounds kind of funny.
That's better.
Yeah, I don't mind that. If someone said, "Look, it's Papa Spoon," nah, that's kind of cute. But Daddy Spoon is cringe, is gay. Yes. But Papa Spoon, nah, I actually don't mind that. If someone were to say that in the chat or call me that, I'd be like, I'm okay, that's fine. But Daddy Spoon, no, that's really gay and cringe.
Yeah, I'm still worried about that.
Papa Spoon, aw, that's cute.
All right.
If I ever kill him, don't call me that.
Kizza for £2 Joe Biden is the Jar Jar Binks of this universe. Yeah,
yes, he is. He absolutely is.
Definitely the Jar Jar Binks. That is very accurate.
Father Spoon makes me sound like a religious figure.
Yeah.
Here, dear Father Spoon, would you please relay us with a sermon of the incoming monarchy? Yes, I'll be glad to, my child.
Let's continue to... Oh, speaking of, I guess, father figures, not a great one from what we know about. Well, I was saying, returning to Joe Biden, I do feel I feel like that's maybe not fair to make fun of him to mock him for shit that happened with Hunter.
Strangling next to the tyrant.
But it is, I think, relevant to sort of be like, you fucked up, in part because he has run so much defense and has given his son, while knowing he's a crack addict, a lot of political power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then his daughter, I don't know. We'll try to get through this. Sorry, probably. What movie?
My Son Hunter.
Oh, that movie. Yeah.
It's a lot of Fox in it.
That will be interesting. But then, like, his daughter has also implied weird
sexual things,
sex stuff with him too, which is why pedo Hitler was trending after this. I
like how this family is making the Clintons look rather tame.
I know. How did you do that? How'd you manage that one?
That's actually like kind of impressive.
You made the Clintons look sane.
Yeah.
Wowee.
That's kind of fucked up.
It is. Let's get
By the way, and just for you people who don't know, this is what it would have been like if Clinton was in power.
Yeah, except for she'd be in
this
exact same speech, but she'd be in a hideous pantsuit. All right.
Otherwise known as mainly her wardrobe.
Right.
We must be honest with each other and with ourselves.
Nah.
Much of what's happening in our country today is not normal.
It's really not normal that a senile old man who doesn't know where he is president of the free world. That's not normal. You're right, Joe.
Yeah, it's not totally fine to have a crackhead of a son that has infinitely weird dealings with China and Syria and I don't know, Ukraine and pretty much every single authoritarian regime. It's funny, like, we give so much of a shit about democracy, but all of my business dealings are with autocrats. It's like, it seems a bit kind of weird.
Just a little bit weird, isn't it? Also, he will continually use the phrase MAGA Republicans over and over again in this. It's because he technically doesn't want to. It's because he wants the 3 neocons. I mean, there's really only 2 that will work with him at all. Which is pretty much the few. I guess there's more than that, but the couple of neocons that will actually work with him to not throw them entirely under the bus. But if you look at the support for Trump within the Republican Party, it's massive.
Yes,
it is overwhelming. So he wants to. Again, I said he wants to demonize half of the country, but to be more specific, he wants to demonize 74 to 75 million Americans who voted for Donald Trump. Let's be specific about it.
This is the thing that I find funny, and I hope the Republicans do this, because if they have power, the Democrats won't be able to do jack shit. Is if you take power now, don't be a fucking pussy. Fucking wield it with ruthless force. Don't no. They're already accusing you of being tyrannical. It doesn't matter what the hell you do. If you have no power whatsoever, they will still call you a tyrant. So if you get the glove and you get the fucking fist, punch the shit out of them with it.
Is that what you think Biden's
Leave
trying?
Them bloody, bruised, and battered.
I think that's what he wants to look like he's doing, right? I do think, by the way, get ready. They're coming for all of your freedoms. They, like I said before, COVID was a dry run. They know that they can use all kinds of tactics to take away every single one of your liberties.
That is assuming people will buy it.
I don't believe they care anymore. I mean, again, this is my black-pilled side. You think that they actually care and they want to actually try to win legitimately. I think they're done with that, but that's just me. Real quick, Kizza for £5 says, in the Broken Crown fan fiction, Mama Hayden and Papa Spoon both look in awe at the cute niece of Supreme Emperor Kizza, the truest monarch of them all. Yes, she is adorable. But yeah, I mean, that's just I think they're done caring.
Did you and I birth a monarch?
Huh?
Did you and I birth a monarch?
No. Also, ew.
I find that offensive. It was than me, you asshole.
man.
At least the kid will be pretty.
Yeah.
Represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, I want to be very clear up front.
Why are you getting applause for that? What the fuck?
Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans.
Yeah, they are.
That's not true. They actually are. They
actually are.
Legitimately are.
He got applause because I'm sure there was a clap applause sign.
Ask your Republican base right now, who would they vote for, Trump or Cheney? I guarantee you Trump would fucking beat the shit out of Cheney. So no, the majority of Republican voters are MAGA people. Like Ender thought, like he's taken over the party and you are screwed. Your old party is dead and buried, motherfucker. Like they are coming for you and they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
In Minecraft, of course.
In Minecraft, right, of course.
Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know.
Okay, stop.
Yeah, he's trying to like court like the neocons, right?
Yeah, but okay.
And by the way, not the people. He doesn't give a shit about the Republican voters. This is just for the neocon.
Can I just say
it's in DC.
I hate this rhetoric that the right can have the same position for like 60 fucking years, and then the left side just goes completely ape shit far left and further and further and further, and then they scream
and then
the right is getting extreme. It's like, no, you are extreme, you jackass. Like they look further away because you moved.
Yes, exactly.
They're not extreme.
Exactly.
You're batshit insane.
Wear your makeup and your dresses. Oh yeah, this is his attempt to pull off the Candyman kind of speech, but he's really bad at it. You're nowhere near as talented as Sam Hyde.
It's like I said this in my video. It's like you're jumping off a cliff, and then while you're plummeting down to hell, you're screaming like fascist. The person on the cliff, you're like, what the fucking hell is going on? Like,
Flying Falcon for 2. Flying Falcon for 2 says freedom is extreme. Yeah, extreme freedom.
Please leave me alone. That's apparently very, very.
I sure would like some extreme freedom.
Yeah,
I think I've shown this before. I have a T-shirt with this image on it, and if I've tried to get these.
I have some funny logos on my T-shirts.
Yeah, I really like this website in general. Hang on, let me find what's it called again.
I have logos that I can't wear outside of my house.
Bill's got some shirts. I may or may not have gotten him a Murdoch shirt at one point that he certainly can't wear certain places.
I'd like to get a t-shirt that says Pinochet did nothing wrong with the helicopter.
I'm trying to find a decent, high quality image of it. I have this shirt that I love. It actually,
I like the way I say that someone in the chat's called Augusto Pinochet comes in like.
So here's the shirt that I have. I've worn this shirt so many times that it's actually like worn down now. Like when the cloth gets a little bit like
that's not so bad. That's kind of based.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, look. Okay, I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. Of course, the Thomas Jefferson quote.
Showing,
she's riding a skateboard. She's got a derringer on her thigh.
A crown.
You can get an uncensored version of it, and then has a beer crown and smoking a cigarette while skateboarding with scissors. I love it. Perfect. I do prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. If you like that design, it's libertymaniacs.com. They sell a lot of libertarian shirts, so I like their stuff a lot. If you want to get that cringy, I like it though. I've worn that shirt so much. It's very comfy. Oh, it's nice quality fabrics. They're not sponsoring me. I've actually asked them to sponsor me. They haven't gotten back, but
by the way,
because I want to. I like their shirts.
The T-shirt that I have says, "Welcome to heaven if you're white and not gay." By the way, that's not a joke. I legitimately have a T-shirt that actually says that.
I believe you. I wasn't doubting you.
It's because I got a friend of mine in America, Rusky, who just says he's amazing. I told him like, Rusky, if you don't do stand up, something is wrong with you. He's fucking funny. He came on Rotten Politics Discord one day in front of complete strangers and just spoke for 10 minutes and everyone like laughed their ass off at the guy. He's just one of those people that's just naturally funny. And so he was on video one day and he just said in this old wizard voice, just went like, "Coming into heaven if you're white and not gay," and that was just so hilariously funny. And a friend of mine I just said to her, like, that would make a really good T-shirt slogan. Obviously I can't wear it outside because it's really offensive. And then one day I get in the mail, I get an item. And I went, this is a T-shirt that can fit as clothing. And then I open it up, and it's a T-shirt with that on it. And I said to her,
quote.
Yeah, and I went like, I can't wear this outside the house. Like, it's badass, but I cannot wear this outside.
Yeah, again, the Murdoch shirt. It's not super overtly obvious, but it does have a Sonnen rat on it, so because it's Murdoch that Bill has. I think he's worn it out maybe once, but it's another one where that's awesome, but you can't really wear that anywhere. Anyway.
Yeah, Kizza, I'll PM you the picture later on. It's in my closet behind me, actually.
Republicans, but there's no question.
I could go on camera, actually.
Today is dominated, driven, and intimidated
Spoon
by Donald Trump and the MAGA
utensil reveal.
And that is a threat to this
Yeah, I'm not
country.
gonna do that.
These are hard things. But I'm an American.
Otherwise, people are gonna go, "Oh my
Are
God,
you?
Spoon, show your face."
Red America, blue
I'm like,
America.
no.
Are you an American president, Joe Biden? Really? Are you though?
No, you're a Shanghai simp.
But of all America.
Except you're about to demonize 74 million of them.
Love with you to tell the truth.
Whisper
no
of Baptist. It's so big.
No matter how
Probably
painful.
good, actually.
And here, in my view, is what is true. MAGA Republicans
In
do not
your
respect
view?
the Constitution.
Yeah.
They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people.
Okay. The party that's mostly concerned with the Constitution.
That's hilarious.
It does not respect the Constitution
just
or
out
the
of
rule of law.
curiosity.
The ones have been fighting back against BLM quote peaceful protests that have caused millions and tens of millions in damage and have taken the lives of more than 30 people during the Summer of Love. We don't respect the rule of law.
Just out of curiosity, Biden, how many times did the Supreme Court shut down anything Trump tried to do? None. How many times did you? Twice. In like the first 8 months.
Yeah.
And also,
trying to get the executive branch of power over SCOTUS, which is that's not respecting the rule of law of your great democracy, right?
Yeah.
While you're sitting here invoking, the memory of the founders.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, honestly.
Yeah, and also, by the way, who's the one trying to sack the Supreme Court? You. Who's the one that got the moratorium shut down? You. Who signed more executive orders in the first 4 weeks than the last 4 predecessors combined? That would be you. So
ruling by dictate.
Yes.
You're not. That's not what the EO is for. Okay.
Yes.
It's really not.
Yeah. I mean, one of the first things he did was rescind a piece of legislation that helped the previous administration. No, not just that, but fight sex trafficking. Of children.
So, yes, fight sex trafficking of children, help people afford insulin, and then tries to re-bring that back under his own name, the exact thing that he got rid of.
Yeah.
And it's the MAGA Republicans who don't respect the rule of law.
Who's trying to get guns banned? Who's the gun grabber here?
Right.
You or Trump?
Yeah, exactly. Second Amendment, my dude.
They refuse to accept the results of a free election.
So did you.
So they go to you bitch.
As I speak, in state after state, to give power to decide elections in America to partisans and cronies, empowering election deniers, to undermine democracy itself.
Okay.
Face.
Just saying that when the MAGA Republicans, like, I don't know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, even though I'm not real happy with her right now, when they win elections, they're undermining democracy. So again, remember, because he's going to use the word democracy. He's already used it a bunch. But I've clipped out today, Jean-Pierre also had to run some defense for him, although she was clearly very irritated and did not want to talk about this speech. Which is weird, because again, Biden didn't choose to do this. His handlers did.
By the way, I'm somewhat sympathetic to Marjorie Taylor Greene because you were essentially asking like an older person to be...
She's not that old.
No, but she's older
Gen
than
X.
No, but yeah, okay. But the thing is, you are still asking someone to be culturally aware of something that
it is a higher level of internet literacy than I would expect from any mainstream politician. That's true.
Yes, so it's like,
but you have to.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna be the side of free speech, you have to be on the side of free speech. I'm sorry, like there's no. Hate speech isn't a thing.
No, I agree with that, but I'm also on the side of commies deserve to be thrown to a wind turbine. So I didn't actually think about that until just now. Like, that's not a creative way to get rid of a commie. Wind turbine.
Where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry.
No right to privacy. No right to privacy.
Married someone that you love, like you give a shit about that already.
No right to privacy. after all this COVID shit.
Yeah, like, fuck off.
Novak Djokovic can't come into the country, and when asked to explain why he's not allowed to come into the country over his vax status, because the CDC has dropped it, Jean-Pierre said it was about his privacy. No, it's not, because of his medical records that they have access to, which they're not supposed to have. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
so no one has any right to. You made it so that everyone had to publicly have a vaccination record so that they were able to have a job. Don't tell me about right to privacy, because that's how they explain abortion.
Bollocks.
You know, that's how it was argued in Roe v. Wade. It's a nonsensical ruling. It was a nonsensical ruling when it happened, and that's why they overturned it, because basing that on the right to privacy, not otherwise enumerated, was not a sound legal
principle
rationale. Now, if you can come up with another one, fine. But right to privacy under rights not otherwise enumerated was just bad legal logic. But again, very funny coming from Joe Biden and the people who still are fighting for more lockdowns and mandates. Well, not so much anymore.
California.
Yeah.
It's like when I saw that clip of what's his name, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom is like, oh, I want to talk about Ron DeSantis. Talk about freedom. It's like, dude, this is so obviously bad acting. Like, this is so cringe, and you have no fucking idea what the hell you're saying. It's like, oh my god. I know people think that guy's gonna be president. Like, he's got the personality of fucking shaving cream.
Yeah, a wet sponge. I'm gonna go back because he said some shit there.
It's terrible.
All right.
Where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marriage.
No right to contraception. He's calling abortion contraception.
I don't think
they used to deny that was the thing. They used to say, no, of course, abortion is not being used as a contraceptive device.
I like how those are the things he mentions is marriage, contraception, abortion, and what was the other one? Privacy.
The last three are all abortion, just to be clear.
I find it really funny that this is the thing that you think people give a shit about.
Yeah, and again, to be clear,
the last three maniacs in your constituents maybe, but the vast majority of people don't give a shit about any of that crap.
The last three things he
decided by the state, not by
not
the
just abortion. And yes, again, it's not the federal government's business.
Yeah.
It never was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So you're right to an abortion, which is the three things: right to privacy, right to contraception. Now, again, remember the Democrats used to claim that abortion was not a form of contraception. Now they are straight up saying that abortion is being used as contraception. It's not supposed to be used as contraception.
Didn't the
and you're right, no, Clover. There is no right to contraception in the Constitution, but at the same time, he's just and you do not have the right to not get vaccinated in the U.S. Did you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Where you had the COVID stuff was complete totalitarian nightmare fuel. Dreadnought for $3 says, "I guess it's time to save money and get my passport." Yes. I don't know how much better it's going anywhere else, my dude. But yeah.
Who you love. They promote authoritarian leaders, and they.
Very funny. Very ironic.
Yes.
Very
promote authoritarian leaders like who?
Whoop. Trump, I guess.
Trump's not authoritarian. Trump doesn't give a shit.
That's their lie, you know.
Political violence.
Political violence.
I'm sorry.
Again, like the Summer of Love.
I was going to say, Aiden.
You tried to burn down a courthouse.
I'm going to say, Aiden. Who did the $2 billion worth of private property damage again? So was it the right or the left who did that? My memory is a bit hazy. I seem to remember a bunch of fags dressed in black doing that shit.
Well, they do it all the time. Political violence. I mean, Antifa, like Stephen Crowder the other day, even though he did that really cringe Biden fart video, there was a drag queen event at a pub for children in Texas where he lives.
Can I say something that's gonna get me hated?
Okay.
Stephen Crowder is Hassan Piker if he wasn't gay.
Yeah, I can see that. See that. But it's this drag queen. It wasn't a story time, by the way. It was a drag queen strip show. Yeah, they do look fairly similar.
Yeah, they look very similar, actually.
But
I want to see them in a debate. It's like look, it's like two brothers.
Oh my god! now we can be a family again. You must put aside your differences.
Oh my god, that'd be a fun fight. I want to see Steven Crowder box Hassan Piker.
That would be. I don't think Crowder can do any fighting because he's got like a fucked up sternum.
I'd still favor him to kick Hassan Piker's ass.
That's
true. He won't even fight
true.
Sam Hyde.
Well, would you fight Sam Hyde? Did you see his fight?
No, but I don't have a problem with Sam Hyde. I don't have a problem.
No, I know, but I'm saying I'm just
I'm not saying like I'm not telling you should go and punch lefties in the face.
Sam's in very good shape and devastates people in the ring, but from what I've seen, from all the evidence. But yeah, Tyro, as Tyro said, he has a bad heart, and Kreider's not doing any fighting.
Racking asked me, how do you win the next election? Okay, here we go. Republicans... Sorry, this bottle cap just went flying. Republicans, focus on the following thing. Okay, the Republicans, you listening? Make education and the Rainbow Coalition your primary fucking thing to focus on. Focus on parents. Make yourself the anti-LGBT party. Education is how you get your win. Bollocks to all the economy crap. This is the thing that drives me nuts. Do not focus on the economy when things are going up. That doesn't make... You have to focus on things they do badly. Because Americans don't vote for things when they go well. They go for things when they go shit. Schooling is your best bet.
Well, the economy is in the toilet right now, too. So, I mean...
No, it's true, but the petrol prices have been going down steadily. So don't mess with that. Okay? Mess with something that's going wrong. Children, parents, the frickin' transition crap. Go after that. That's your money.
Again, the economy is in the toilet, too. But, yeah, I mean, yes. I think that is a strong point.
Focus on the cultural issues. Because that's the snappy thing that gets you.
And Tyro is correct on that. Tyro is correct, though, Spoon, is that historically social issues don't play well. Economic issues are the ones that really get people to come out and vote, because people feel that every single day in their wallets. Yeah, education is another big one. Focusing on education is a big one. But yeah, the economy is going to be a big deal.
I'm not saying don't mention the economy, but definitely focus on the kids.
I think that's
for opposite reasons that Dems do.
yeah. We'll have to see. I think the economy should be the priority, because that's the one that every single person can feel. Not everyone does have kids.
Yes, but
everybody can.
But the suburban moms are looking for a party. They're politically homeless right now. You could snap up so many mom votes. If you'd stop being gay and look after their children.
No, I think some of them do, but they obviously care about their kids, but they also, a lot of those women care about looking progressive because they want to be seen as caring and kind. And
but they're
told that the Republicans are evil.
Not the many.
That historically has been them, though. I mean, look, white women did vote for Republicans, but typically speaking, women tend towards the Democrats.
What did Youngkin focus on?
No, I know, education.
There you go.
I know. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm not saying not to focus on it. I'm just saying that the economy is a big deal right now.
This is why I thought this was really funny, because all the people said if you focus on Trump constantly, you're gonna win. Like, Youngkin did not do that. He focused on parents. Terry McAuliffe would not shut the fuck up about Trump, and he got his ass handed to him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There is evidence for that, so I would agree with you. Let's continue.
That are a threat to our personal rights.
The Republicans are the threat to your personal rights.
If there's a war, maybe.
Like your right to bear arms? Really? Or your right to kill a 9-month-old baby?
Oh, it doesn't matter, Aiden. Apparently you need like an F-15 to take out the government.
I know, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Because he's just been on a real streak.
We've seen women enable social degeneracy. That's not women. Those are psychopaths.
No, it's a lot of women. It's maybe the majority. Hey, there's a reason. Oh, I have said 19 is a problem, but that's
look,
just
I like you. You're very based. You're fine.
Well, I'm not. Neither of us are in favor of universal voting suffrage either.
Yeah, you think women's suffrage was a bad idea.
Yeah, well, it was.
Bear in mind, so was Queen Victoria. I was reading about what Queen Victoria said. I'm like, God damn, Queen Victoria was based shit. She called them ugly.
Florence Nightingale was against it.
Oh my god, Florence Nightingale, if you look at what she said about women, like, oh my god, Florence Nightingale was like really anti-feminist. Oh my shit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Very based.
Soul of this country. They look at the mob that stormed the United States Capitol on January 6th, brutally attacking law enforcement.
Brutally attacking law enforcement. Evidence, please.
There's not evidence of that.
How about, we didn't mention Ashley Babbitt, who got shot in the head.
By the way, the funniest thing, did you see the podium guy? The guy who took that famous photo from the podium, like holding Nancy Pelosi on. Did you see he was on Tim's show?
Yeah.
I just find it hilarious that he was walking around the Capitol and he said, he went to a police officer and said, I'm not supposed to be here. How do I get out? And the police officer just said to him, go that way. If you're staging a coup, you don't walk up to a police officer and he tells you how to get out. That's not a coup. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
That's just
it's bizarre. I know.
I just looked at this like, let me get this right. I said this before and I'll say it again. January 6th was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And anyone who thinks that a bunch of essentially
that it was a serious threat to our democracy.
But a bunch of drunken, unarmed, louty yobsters, right?
Who were allowed into the building.
Yes, who were allowed into the building are somehow going to stage a successful bloodless coup against the most militarized nation on the planet is a fucking retard and is not to be taken seriously. I don't care anyone who says to me that January 6th is the scariest thing. Shut up. You're a dumbass. You don't know anything. Your political opinions are not to be taken seriously.
You've bought into a bizarre lie.
Yes.
A lie that like,
if you look at the video footage of people just walking...
They're walking through the velvet lines.
They look like lost tourists.
Well, they are.
Yes.
And they were invited, and of course, the police just let them in, and so they were just walking around. They didn't actually, I think the vast majority of them had no idea they weren't allowed to be in there.
Yes. Police were not put up against a wall. No one was gunned. No one was held hostage. It was like if that's
if you listen to what Biden just said, you would think that, right?
Yeah, it was a tour group.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is why I don't take it seriously, because if you just look, if you look at the actual video footage, like, anyone who thinks this is serious, this is a bad thing. It makes you look like a total bitch if you think that is serious. Because like, it's not remotely serious.
Just compare that to any random footage of the Summer of Love.
Yeah. It's night and freaking day.
Again, remember, the left tried to burn down and bomb a courthouse in California. Was it in California or was it in Washington? I don't remember. But it might have been Washington or Oregon. I don't remember. Somewhere on the West Coast, they tried to burn down a courthouse, but that wasn't an insurrection.
Oh my god, the politics, the politics Discord. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Huh?
What you call like the Discord server politics? It's the biggest politics Discord server.
Oh, I don't know.
They have They have this Brandon background as they're heading. Oh my goodness, this thing's so
that's pretty nice.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's been tons and tons of
oh my god, the memes around this have been just... Dude,
yeah.
You're going to have enough meme material for the next decade just from this.
I know.
It's so insane. It's great.
Also, thanks Tyro and No Leaf Clover and Rob Walker. It was Portland where they tried to burn down the
yes,
courthouse.
of course it was.
of course
where they tried to make farmlands.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I
bet you Sticks looked at that with tear in his eyes at Chaz.
Oh, right, Chaz, that was hilarious. That was so funny. It lasted a whole week and a half or whatever.
Not as insurrectionists who placed a
right, remember, these people literally declared themselves independent from the United States.
Yeah.
But the people walking through the Capitol are the insurrectionists.
And
I think by definition, out of control. Pretty sure if you declare a couple city blocks no longer part of the United States, that's an actual insurrection by definition.
That's a secession, isn't it?
Yeah, they seceded. But all right.
The US is not sounding like South Africa, by the way. South Africa would never say something this cringe and gay. South Africa does not call for unity. South Africa openly calls to kill white people.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And they see their MAGA failure to stop a peaceful transfer of power after the 2020 election as preparation for the 2022 and 2024 elections.
Oh my god, I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, you can hear the guy in the background. Let's go, Brandon.
I have an erection just thinking about how much they're going to get their asses kicked. It's going to be good fun.
We'll see.
I'm going to beat you with it, by the way.
No, we'll see. I just don't think it's... I don't know. I'll look. I'll believe it when I see it.
By the way, you have to understand something here. It's a lot more difficult to do this in a midterms than it is a general, because a general, they just have to target a few key states. With this one, it's significantly more. So it's a lot harder to coordinate.
Right, and it's a bunch of different people running rather than just,
Yes.
For president. So that is going to be a problem. They are going to be more divided by just in terms of the number of elections they're going to have to, fortify and stuff. But yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it, right?
Can I mock you if it goes well?
Yeah. Hang on. All right, let's go back.
We have to do a stream on that night and then drink copious amounts of alcohol.
That sounds fun. All right.
And we get someone on streaming who isn't gay.
What? Yeah, we'll see if we can get it. I mean, it'll be really late for us.
I'll stop now.
What? No. It's just I keep pressing it, and then right after I do.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go on.
No. It's not. It is not you at all. Whatever.
They tried everything last time to nullify the votes of 81 million people. This time, they're determined to succeed in thwarting the will of the people.
Remember when you tried to overthrow Trump's election as illegitimate?
Yeah,
for 2 years.
For 4 bloody years.
I mean, they spent 2 years being hardcore. Russia, every day.
Fucking day.
But how dare the MAGA Republicans question our sacred election? It's not like we did that for years or anything. But okay,
yeah.
Everyone who's not blind, deaf, and dumb can see the hypocrisy.
There's a
and
lot
the complete double standard.
Stupid, blind, deaf, and dumb, though.
I know.
That's why respected conservatives like Federal Circuit Court Judge
I get to see what the gun back.
Yeah, I know.
has called Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans, quote, a clear and present danger to our democracy.
Okay, so you just said that 74 million people pose a clear and present danger to the democracy, to your democracy.
I mean, to your democracy, they do.
To your democracy, sure, because it's your political hegemony. That's what democracy means to you, is you being in power. You and your people who agree with you on everything, and who put you in power to maintain that political hegemony. You don't like the actual ideas of democracy. You certainly don't like the ideas of liberty. So, no.
They do, as long as the liberty favors them.
That's not liberty, then.
Of course not. I don't think the distinction matters to these people, though.
No. They just want their political hegemony to maintain itself. So that's when he says the threat to our democracy and says that 74 million people are a threat to the democracy. What are you going to do about those 74 million people that you basically just described as being? I mean, if they're a threat to the democracy, what are they? Terrorists?
Apparently.
That's what I would assume you mean when you say that people are something that's a threat to your democracy. I would assume, Joe.
But while the threat to American democracy is real,
there we go.
I want to say as clearly as we can, we are not powerless in the face of these threats. We are not bystanders in this ongoing attack on democracy. There are far more Americans from every background and belief who reject the extreme MAGA ideology.
No, they don't, actually.
Wait, what's so extreme about MAGA, by the way? What is the extreme? Make America great again?
Yeah,
improve the economy?
I don't quite know what's so.
Yeah,
we
they just call you a Nazi.
Resources. Can we exploit that? Yeah, we can. Can we sell it to the world to rival Putin so that the Russian state does not make as much money?
This is the thing.
Can we not start new wars? Can we have a booming economy? Can we have parents whose rights are actually expected to
who can
to teach their own
determine
children
what they want for their children?
Yes, it sounds like a terrifying world where people get to actually choose things. Oh my God, what a horrible world. Well, if you're a globalistic shithead that wants to control everyone,
you're just a Nazi. You're just a Nazi. Okay, yeah. What freaking idea? What has been espoused by Trump that looks even slightly as Hitlerian as this particular image in front of us right now?
That's a good point. I didn't think about that actually.
Well, what has Trump ever said or done? I mean, they just call him Nazi. That Nazi. That their ideology is Nazis. What does that mean? Point to one.
The radical Democrats want to damage all your children.
They never have been able to point to anything. Oh, he said very fine people. Oh, he called countries shitholes. Oh, he said he doesn't want Mexicans crossing the borders. Like, but all that shit is just very fine people on both sides. I mean, the people that were in Charlottesville were not all.
There's no fine sides on their authoritarian side.
No, there's only them. That's the point. You are with them, you are in the tribe, or you are against them. And if you're not in the tribe, then you need to be, well, I don't know what he's calling for here. Sounds like he's calling 74 million people terrorists, though, if you're a threat to the democracy. Dreadnought for $10 says, I'm with Aiden on this one. I'm pretty black-pilled. I think the Democrats will fortify the election. Even if they lose, the Republicans will do what they always do and roll over on their back. Yeah, that's the worst part, right?
I would say that would normally be the case, but there's too many MAGA Republicans to make sure that. That's why Mitch McConnell is wanting to throw the election, because he does not want to be a minority in the new party. That's why, because he's actually a Democrat.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Hence Rhino.
Yeah, that's why he wants to throw the fucking thing. I'm actually doing a video on Mitch McConnell called "I Hate the Republicans," and I've written a script that is reminiscent of Razor Fist. Like that kind of aggression, and I'm like, I have to make this 5 minutes, which is going to be difficult. But I sent it to Aiden before, some of the shit that I wrote, and it is, it's quite mean actually. I read it, I'm like, God damn, this is some good writing, and it is very aggressive.
Nice,
good stuff.
Dear T is King for $10 says, I being in the land of sunshine, Florida, I have great hope for the future, as from Jeb! Exclamation point. To the modern day shame and more sunshine has made our elections freer and our state even more based. Yeah, Florida's doing okay. Florida's doing okay. I'm worried about Texas because all the Californians have moved. Right. Yeah, the Californians are trying to take it over because they ruined their own state and now they want to go ruin another one. I mean, like, how
people say that in 2020 and then nuts. Trump killed Texas.
I know. It does drive me nuts though. It does drive me nuts though, because it's like, wow, California sucks. Let's move to Texas where we hate everybody, and then just try to vote in all the stuff that ruined California. God, there's no self-awareness whatsoever, is there, amongst these people? It's like, why do you want to leave? Why are you leaving California?
I mean,
it's full of homeless people, and it's really expensive, and there's all kinds of social problems. Were those all things that you voted for?
It is difficult to have a sense of self-awareness when compared to the other side, when you don't want to look at what the other side actually does. We do, so we know how they look like, but when it's just them doing it, we're like,
and we've seen the data on that.
You look like a twat. Yeah.
But again, I brought it several times. We've seen the data on it. Left-wing people in the United States have absolutely no clue. They have no idea what people on the right believe in. They have a complete fantasy version of, and it's because of shit like this, obviously. But the right is pretty aware of what the left wants politically.
Based AG, Missouri.
Folks,
tepid applause.
It's within our power. It's in our hands, yours and mine.
It looks like a backing track when you can't see the audience.
I know.
I believe America's at an inflection point. One of those moments that determine the shape of everything that's to come after.
You are going to lose.
America must choose to move forward or to move backwards.
Forward.
To build a future or obsess
without you.
About the past. To be a nation of hope.
Wait a minute.
All you've done.
Obsess about the past. All you do is obsess about Trump.
I was going to say,
obsess about the past. Obsess about Jan 6.
All you've done for this entire speech thus far is talk about the past.
And all that the left, generally speaking, does is obsess. Nazi. Trump. Whine about the past. Why? Oh, racism. The KKK. When?
Yeah.
When? Whine about shit from 60, 70 years ago, or more. And whine about the past. All you have is the past. So that's very, very cute, Joe.
Unity and optimism, or a nation of fear, division.
You just said 74 million people are a threat to the democracy, and it's like, okay, you want unity, but how are you going to get that unity if 74 million people are a threat? What are you going to do to the 74 million? I think you got to get rid of them somehow, don't you?
Oh my god, that would be a fun drinking conversation.
What?
Myself, Razor Fist, Sargon, Desi Lee Peterson, Jordan Peterson, Sam Hyde, and Dave Landau.
Dude, I
don't think I would actually say anything. I would just sit there and I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to watch this face to face and just.
I would love just Jesse Lee Peterson and Jordan Peterson and Sam Hyde alone would be amazing. Just those three.
I actually just want to see Jordan Peterson have a conversation with Jesse.
That
Jesse
would be
Lee
amazing.
Peterson. That would be.
Yeah.
He's never actually done.
The Petersons align.
Yeah. Because Jesse Lee Peterson pulls you in with this kind of silly look, and then he just beats the shit out of you.
Yeah, I know.
Which is what makes him quite funny.
And it's particularly leftists think he's a stupid. Not only is a stupid.
I like
Republican,
how much he does not like black people, by the way.
Oh, and well, because
he's like, you might be a Nazi. Maybe.
Maybe. I love Jesse. He's great. Galactic Emperor Schlurm for 5 says Rich Barris thinks that this speech is a psyop meant to provoke us into doing something dumb and allowing Brandon to justify tyrannical crackdown. I think he's going to do a tyrannical crackdown either way, but we did talk about that earlier. That someone else mentioned as well that this is a come on conservatives do a terrorism, but. And again, like I said, I think it's priming either way. It's psychological priming of we're just going full auth. We're just going full authoritarian, and we don't care anymore. Well, I think stage 1 was COVID, but yeah, I think they're going full. I mean, this seems very mask off. You've literally got this red lights, and again, it's funny because it's so comically evil.
Yes.
But I think it is intended to, even though it's also funny because he's incompetent, I do think it's intended to scare people. I think it's intended to make you afraid. It doesn't work because he's incompetent. But I think the point is to terrify you.
It doesn't scare me. It just makes me laugh because I just look at this and go like, this looks so comedically villainous that I can't take it seriously.
I know. Horwitz, Feinberg, and Horwitz for 10 says, California is the cell that has burst after the virus is finished duplicating within it. Yeah, to a certain degree.
Yeah, although that's true.
Then DRT is King for 5 says, Gary Beakley? I didn't know his last name. Nerdrodek are Californians, not Californians. And remember that Nixon was a Californian and they had to fortify the state in 20. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying hashtag all Californians.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not saying hashtag all Californians just mean like
they
that.
Had to
I'm
do
saying
that in California?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Because the North is very strong, right? Remember, remember their governor, Beekler?
That's
okay. But remember, their governor was what's his name? Arnold. He was a Republican.
Yeah, but
yeah, but Rhino.
Arnold is not really a Republican.
Yeah, Rhino.
He's a fag.
Harry the Human Substitute, Aaron Carr for £5 says, welcome to Stupid Being Stupid. Also, hi Spoon, it's me from Discord. I made this weeb YouTube name over 10 years ago. I'm assuming you know Harry in some way.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think a lot of Californians are obviously actually trying to escape because they are not happy with it. But again, I know 2 comedians who are very left-wing, who are still funny. They just don't talk about politics. That's why it doesn't bother me. But when anytime they veer into it at all, it's just like, oh my God. And it's so illiterate, politically illiterate. And they moved to Texas. It's like, they're just going to vote for more dumb, far left prog shit. So, I mean, I see examples on both sides. Yes, people are fleeing because the state is horrible and mismanaged. And there are also people who are leaving because the state is horrible and mismanaged, but they want to go somewhere else and vote for the same crap.
Yeah.
Which that part's very frustrating. Retards. Well, it's frustrating because, oh well.
And of darkness. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos.
What?
They live not in the light of truth, but in the...
Yeah, what? Who's angry?
What the fuck are you talking about?
The left is constantly screaming about everything.
I was going to say, you people whine constantly. It's your whole thing is to bitch.
It is to... not just whine, but to actually scream.
Literally.
In anger at stuff. Yes. I mean, it's...
Nothing quite says bizarre. Love like setting things on fire.
Dreadnought for 10 says, as Yarvin said, this is the kick the dog until it bites routine. Yeah.
Yes, that's I think also the Russian argument.
Yeah, either you get to kick the dog to death or it bites you and you shoot it for its aggression. This is normal progressive practice. Yeah, I mean, and again, maybe I'll just bring it up now because I do have it here. In my
I'm glad someone else reads Moldbug. I'm happy about that. That's from his Substack.
Of course. I would imagine that we have people here who are aware of Moldbug, considering there's not a whole lot of people making monarchist arguments.
We're kind of the few and far between.
So Yeah, I'll bring this up real quick since it's come up a few times. This is from a couple days before this, which is that Biden said you just can't defend yourself against the freaking government. Here it is.
Right-wing Americans who say it's all about keeping America's independent and safe.
This is a day before he makes this speech. Put that into perspective.
Yeah.
If you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun.
No,
I'm not joking. Think about this. Think about the rationale we use.
No, Aiden, bear this in mind, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You need an F-15. You need more than a gun. But somehow, if you're unarmed, you're going to upset the entire country and rig a new regime.
Interesting. We also did a relevant Stone Toss comic related to it, right?
As tanks and jets, like, oh my god. The level of incompetence of this regime makes me not want to take it seriously. Like, there's no one hell you can do shit because you're contradictory, you're hopelessly incompetent, and every time you open your mouth, you sound like a fucking retard.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take this regime seriously. Look who's the current press secretary.
Oh, I know. I
mean, she's barely human. The first female character, I keep thinking of Critical Drink every time I see her face.
Oh, can you give me 1 second? I told you I told you I was sick yesterday. I'm getting a little sick. I will be right back. I might have to go puke. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Can you All right, I'll just play it. Wait, wait, do you want to put it in a watch together real quick so you can pause it?
That's okay, you can play it.
You sure?
Yeah, you won't be that long.
All right.
The shadow of lies.
Oh, God.
Shadow of lies.
Together we can choose a different path. We can choose a better path.
Yes, by electing Trump.
Forward to the future.
By electing Trump.
A future of possibility, a future to build and dream and hope.
Only Trump.
And we're on that path moving ahead.
Yeah, that's true.
Nation. I know you, the American people. I know your courage. I know your hearts. And I know our history.
To elect Trump.
This is a nation that honors our Constitution. We do not reject it. This is a nation that believes in the rule of law. We do not
Just not if you're a Democrat. In liberal cities.
This is a nation that respects free and fair elections. We honor the will of the people. We do not
Tell
deny
that to Clinton in 2016.
And this is a nation that rejects violence as a political tool.
Get the fuck out.
Violence. We are still an America that believes in honesty and decency.
Look at liberal cities. Look at their crime rates.
Patriotism, liberty, justice for all, hope, possibilities. We are still, at our core, a democracy.
No, you're not.
And yet, history tells us that blind loyalty to a single leader and a willingness to engage in political violence is fatal to democracy.
No, it's not. Not the leader is not a complete moron.
We told ourselves that American democracy is guaranteed, but it's not. We have to defend it.
From Democrats.
Stand up for it. Each and every one of us. That's why tonight,
and don't elect
I'm asking
Democrats.
Our nation to come together, unite behind the single purpose of defending our democracy regardless of your ideology.
Why? You're shit. You're destroying it. You've seen that old retard.
By duty and conscience to confront extremists who put their own pursuit of power above all else.
Tell that to your son.
Mainstream Republicans. We must be stronger, more determined, and more committed to saving American democracy than MAGA Republicans are to destroying American democracy.
American democracy is gay. Fuck off.
Will not let anyone or anything tear us apart. Today, there are dangers around us.
Trump crossed the Rubicon.
We here, you've heard it. More and more talk about violence as an acceptable political tool.
Who's done that except you?
It's not. It can never be an acceptable tool. So I want to say this plain and simple. There is no place for political violence in America. Period. None.
Except
ever.
Liberal cities. It's a load of it. Especially San Francisco.
We saw law enforcement brutally attacked on January the 6th.
No, you didn't.
Election officials, poll workers, many of them volunteers of both parties, subject to intimidation and death threats.
What?
And can you believe it?
Where?
Agents, just doing their job as directed, facing threats to their own lives from their own fellow citizens.
Oh, fuck off.
On top of that, there are public figures today, yesterday, and the day before predicting and all but calling for mass violence and rioting in the streets.
Yeah, except Portland.
This is inflammatory. It's dangerous. It's against the rule of law.
What happened when Trump won?
Say, this is not who we are.
This is such bad acting.
We can't be pro-insurrectionist.
Yes, you can.
They're incompatible.
No, they're not.
Allow violence to be normalized in this country. It's wrong.
You had a revolution to get your independence, you fucking moron.
Violence with all the moral clarity and conviction this nation can muster. Now, we can't let the integrity of our elections be undermined. For that is a path to chaos.
Well, blame the Democrats then.
Oh, did I miss too much? Oh my gosh.
He's been lying constantly.
Yeah, as he's wont to do. This is why we didn't stream yesterday, because, and like I said, it's just what fun serendipity. I make my big thread talking about how Luke Braun helped me and worked well for me, and then I get a real bad flare up just the next day.
How do you feel sick and then the first thing you do is drink?
Well, why not?
Because it's really bad, Aiden.
I don't know. I didn't end up actually throwing up. I almost did, but then I was like, nope.
This is not how you heal yourself. I don't feel well. You know, we'll make you feel better. Copious amounts of vodka.
Unironically, yes. Actually, weed would really help, but I don't have any right now.
Sakes.
Let's see. Did you get Jernigi's chat or anybody else's?
No,
Shelley? All right. Okay. Brain for 5 says speeches like this are not
5 of them.
Yeah, speeches like this are not made if they can be casually challenged.
True.
This was a show of power and meant to suppress oppositional voter turnout. Game over. I do think it was meant to suppress voter turnout, for sure.
I don't think we'll I think it'll do the exact opposite.
Yeah, psychological reactance. But I think it was be afraid, Republicans. Do you like how we still haven't we've kept people in prison for more than 2 years? We're going on 3 years of those people being in jail.
This is not scary. This just makes me think he's cringe and gay.
I know, but I'm saying maybe part of the point is, though, to scare people. Even if it is cringe. Jarnegi for 5 says, and now Brandon sounds crazy, like a crazy pastor. Yeah, a little bit. Dreadnought for 5 says, dude, unqualified reservations, not Substack. I read Moldbug before it was cool. Yeah.
I read both.
And we've read it. And then DRT is King for 5 says the historical allegory for Trump in Rome is the Grassi brothers, but they made a fatal slip. They didn't kill him. He can return and pull a Cincinnatus. Yeah, we'll have to see.
I will say I did read Moldbug's the an open letter to open-minded progressives, and that was my biggest red pill of like, whoa, this makes way more sense in the mainstream media.
Bruh.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's a good book. I'd recommend everyone people read it. If you want to know about what the hell is actually going on in the real world, then you read his shit. It makes way more sense.
Politics can be fierce and mean and nasty in America. I get it. I believe in the give and take of politics, in disagreement and debate and dissent.
Yes, you give a shit and we take it.
Complicated country. But democracy endures only if we, the people, respect the guardrails of the republic. Only if we, the people, accept the results of...
They respected the guardrails. They all stayed within them.
I was going to say, yeah.
...fair elections. Only if we, the people, see politics not as total war, but mediation of our differences.
Read the chat.
But that's not what you're doing right here. It's like, we all have to come together by force. If you disagree with me, you're not coming together. If you disagree with anything I do, then you're bad and something needs to happen to you. I'm not going to say exactly what.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
it's very divisive.
No, it's not, because he's the one saying it.
Yeah, but he's the one actually being divisive.
Right. No, of course. But it's fine when they do it. Harry the Human Substitute, Aaron Carr, for £10 says, we have a nation of laws and good thing with low unemployment rates. Everything Trump did. Biden makes me want to adopt him just to domestically abuse him.
I don't think you'd get much of a reaction out of him if you tried to.
No, honestly. But I mean, also, yes, he's been doing this the entire time. The entire time he's been in office is that anything that was good, he takes credit for. It doesn't matter if all of it that he's taking credit for that was good is stuff that Trump did. But, of course, because he's not doing anything that's good, obviously.
Yeah, he's still busy on a certain place.
When one side believes there are only two outcomes to an election, Either they win or they were cheated.
But you guys did that in 2016.
And you did in 2000 as well with Bush and Gore.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is just... It's a problem with partisanship. It's a problem with democracy, by the way. But this is... Because democracy leads to increased partisanship inherent. But this is ridiculous. It's only Republicans do that. Yeah, okay, dude, whatever.
But 2020 was definitely shady as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we have all these brand new laws that come into place right before the election.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like,
no one's allowed to look at stuff. No one's... No, yeah.
There's a president that is over 1 million votes ahead, and then the next 3 days he somehow loses a lead of over 1 million votes with mysterious mail-in ballots that come 3 days after the election. This is totally normal. Sure,
yeah, well,
it is.
Well, most safest and securest election of all time, though.
But remember, if you ask questions about it, it's because you're a conspiracy theorist and you're cringe and gay and you must be silenced. Like, where did you give it credibility?
Yeah.
They don't understand what every patriotic American knows. You can't love your country only when you win.
Yes, you can.
But that's what you guys do.
That's what you.
Well, first of all, you don't like the country at all. You hate the country, and many Democrats hate this country.
Yeah, God, the Constitution stops us from enacting tyrannical power. Fuck.
They also say that stuff all the time about how much they hate America because it's based on racism or whatever, you know?
American democracy only works only if we choose to respect the rule of law and the institutions that were set up.
You don't respect the rule of law. Get the fuck out.
Again, we've talked about this. So you don't respect the rule of law.
Only if we respect our legitimate political differences.
But you don't respect any legitimate political differences either,
You literally say anyone who disagrees with you wants to burn down the country and they're terrorists.
And is a Nazi, like you're doing right here.
Yeah.
You just call 74 million people heavily imply that they were terrorists, that they are against the country.
It's fucking insane.
It's just pure projection.
Yeah, to a very high degree.
Yeah.
I will not. The will of the American people be overturned by wild conspiracy theories and baseless evidence-free claims of fraud. I will not stand by and watch elections in this country stolen by people who simply refuse to accept that they lost.
Did you just hear what he said? Republicans stole elections.
I mean, I don't think that's true. But
is that what he just said? Because that's what it sounded like. He said that. Did he say they claimed that, or that they did steal them? Hang on, yeah.
I will not stand by and watch. I will not. The will of the American people be overturned by wild conspiracy theories and baseless evidence-free claims of fraud. I will not stand by and watch elections in this country stolen by people who simply refuse to accept that they lost. He
just said elections are being stolen.
Yeah, he actually just did it.
I don't know if he screwed up his line, but he said that he just said that Republicans are stealing elections.
Yeah.
So remember, that can't happen in the United States. He's railed about it now for minutes. How elections are super safe and secure in the United States, but Republicans are stealing elections.
But when they're not. It's
right.
It's secure when Democrats win, but it's totally a sham when Republicans do.
I mean, this is actually insane.
Yeah, that is. But that is actually what he's saying.
Well, you're saying, at least you're telling people how you really feel about, and how the Democrats seem to really feel about this, which is that it is fair and free if we win. It is fascismus,
totally screwed, yeah.
and
it's
rigging
if they
rigged if they lose. That's what he just said. And you better get scared. Look at my scary red lights. My God. And there you go. Just a little cheers.
I will not stand by and watch the most fundamental freedom in this country, the freedom to vote, and have your vote counted.
It's not your most fundamental freedom at all.
He's not going to stand for any of that shit. He's going to sit down and yell.
True. But isn't that telling? The most fundamental freedom is the right to vote. That's not how the founders envisioned it at all. The most fundamental freedoms in the United States are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
If I think of the two most things that make America America, it is guns, sandwiches, and the ability to say shit. Yeah, like burgers.
Not burgers? Oh, I was gonna say burgers. I can see. Voting is way down the line. You know, like every single person in America has the right to life, liberty, and pursuit. Children don't have the right to vote. Convicted felons don't have the right to vote. So, excuse me, voting is way down that list.
I've said this before. America as a country, you're basically to foreigners, you're a nation divided by some regions and stereotypes.
Mm.
You have Vegas, casinos. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You have California, blonde bimbos and empty-headed morons.
You know what? You've been to the U.S. like once or twice, right?
Yeah, I've been there once.
Where'd you go? Just
Boston.
out of curiosity. Boston, okay.
And New Hampshire.
Okay, so you haven't, but so it is interesting to me as an American to hear how foreigners think of America, right? So it's for you, it's Las Vegas, California.
No, okay, so here's I would say that there's like stereotypical regions that make up the American stereotype as far as sort of foreign perception goes. So you've got Vegas, Las Vegas, casinos, whatever. You've got California, ditzy blonde bitch, valley accent, whatever. Texas, cowboys, Texas barbecue, guns. That's just speaking the most American kind of thing. You've got New York, so you've got the New York Stock Exchange, bunch of guys in suits doing coke, essentially. Washington D.C. because that's where the president lives. Florida, so gators and being Florida. Miami, cocaine. Boston because their accents are terrible, and that's basically it. Like the rest of Middle America does not exist. It's basically the coastal region, like a big bowl. And that's,
pretty much.
Ask anyone outside of America what is the most stereotypical things American. It'll be just what I just mentioned.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty common. Yeah.
And be taken from you and the American people. Look, as your president, I will defend our democracy with every
You're not the president.
of my being, and I'm asking every American to join me. Throughout our history, America has often made the greatest progress coming out of some of our darkest moments.
Just like the guy in the background saying, "Fuck Joe Biden," or like, "Let's go, Biden."
Do that again. And we are.
I love it.
Republicans look at America and see carnage and darkness and despair.
But that's, again, it's just all projection.
Dude,
this is the party of the 1619 Project that says that everything about America is based on slavery and death and violence.
You cannot stand in front of that screen, that backdrop, and say like, "Worry about death and despair." It's like,
I know, while you're in front of a big
so
red scary backdrop with two Marines. Oh my god. Also, God. Harry the Human Substitute, Aaron Carr, for £5 says, "We aren't hiding anything, which is why we are covering these windows so you cannot see what you were doing, and why we deleted the CCTV footage." Oh, I know. At least in terms of the Mar-A-Lago stuff. We'll get into some of that if we have time tonight. And then Brian for $5 says, "All data for voting suggests fear depresses turnout, hate motivates turnout." Yes, I have seen the studies on this. I think carefully about the messaging. Yeah, when people are, that's why that people didn't vote during COVID, or a lot of people didn't, and they cited fear because they were afraid. A lot of people were afraid to go out because they were afraid they'd catch COVID. And being afraid, and if you think, and another reason he would want to do this, if he does think this is scary, or his handlers think this is scary, is to depress turnout for Republicans. Hate motivates turnout. Think carefully about the messaging within messaging in speech writing. Yeah, I don't think he's actually made anybody afraid. I think that's the point, right? The point is make people afraid. I'm going to come out here from my red background. I'm going to look really scary. I'm going to call you traitors. Say we're going to do something, not really specify what, but heavily imply we're going to do something, etc. Jacob Mismer, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, for $5 says, "Hey Eden, have you heard of People's Pundit?" I have not. He goes into a lot of data on elections. I think you might find it interesting. Yeah, it sounds like something I would find interesting. I'll have to, let's see, People's Pundit. Write that down. Yeah, I'll look into him. And then, let's see. And then Arden Party for $2 says, "Burgers, boomsticks, and bubes, baby. America." Yeah, who was that again? I can't remember. It's just like my two favorite things in the world are the First Amendment and boobs, BOOBS. Only two things that have never let me down in this world. And the CNN host just couldn't, just crashed. Her brain just disintegrated.
They spread fear and lies.
Yeah, okay.
Lies told for profit and power.
Yeah, the Democrats don't do that at all.
But I see a different America.
Yeah, how about we talk about Russia? Lies told for profit and power. Huh? Oh, we talk about some lies, dude. God, it's so frustrating, right?
An America with an unlimited future. An America that's about to take off. I hope you see it as well. Just look around. I believe we could lift America from the depths of COVID. So we passed the largest economic recovery package since Franklin Delano.
Largest economic what? What was that? What was that, Biden? You want to try that one? Run that one by me again?
Off. I hope you see it as well. Just look around. I believe we could lift America from the depths of COVID. So we passed the largest economic recovery package since
economic rummy. Stan, are you there? Oh no. Hello? Oh no, I don't know. Maybe Spoon walked out for a minute. But he did pass probably the largest economic grummy package, apparently. I wasn't aware of that, but good for you.
And today, America's economy is faster, stronger than any other advanced nation in the world. We have more to go. I believe we could build a better America. So we passed the biggest infrastructure investment since President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Oh, not something to brag about.
And we've now embarked on a decade of rebuilding the nation's roads, bridges, highways, ports, water systems, high-speed internet.
Huge. So in other words, you're going to get taxed out the ass. By the way, I hope you all are enjoying the money that you're supposed to get back on your student loans, because you're just paying that back to the government anyway.
I believe we can make America safer, so we passed the most significant gun safety law since President Clinton.
Remember, again, he's talking about how they want to take away your rights and your freedoms? Celebrating that, though, all right.
I believe we could go from being the highest cost of prescriptions in the world to making prescription drugs and healthcare more affordable.
How about how you removed Trump's specific law that was in place that helped make insulin more affordable, particularly during the pandemic? You removed that, you let it sit gone for months, and then eventually, I think, did bring it back. I don't know if it actually did come back or not, but I know they were talking about it. But again, just so you can pat yourself on the back, don't actually care about this stuff. I don't know if Spoon is AFK or if he's DC'd or something. Let me real quick. Why can't I? Hang on. Where? Oh, I hate Discord. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense to me. Why can't I type? Hang on. I'm not sure if Spoon is here. Give me 1 second, or if what's going on. Wait a minute. He's streaming, so if I hang up, it'll be fogged. Give me 1 second. Well, let me see if that comes back, though. Sorry, I might have done something weird. I didn't know Spoon had left. But while we're waiting on that, real quick, do you think they keep saying, Rob Walker for 20 says, do you think they keep saying our democracy because they hope to shift America to a pure democracy? No. They also, it says, they keep using that term despite, and they have wanted to do away with the Electoral College for a while. They definitely want to get rid of the Electoral College. But I think that they use the word democracy because, as I said early on in the stream, I'm not sure if you were here, that it's a word that's really like beaten in to young people in America as being a universal good. So if something is democratic, therefore it's good. It's something to be revered. It's something to be worshipped almost. And I think that they use the word democracy because it has an inherent positive connotation to it for Americans as something that needs to be fought for and protected. So you can do almost anything in the name of democracy. Now remember, the Bush era, for example, went to multiple wars, and it's not just the Bush administration. We go back to Vietnam. The United States has gotten involved in wars all over the world for decades and decades and decades, all under the guise of spreading democracy. How do you get people to do that? You say, well, democracy is the best thing ever, forever, and that's why we have to forcibly spread it to other countries. So they use the word democracy because it evokes a powerful message of, an ingrained message of something associated with good in the American people, under which you can do all kinds of evil, right? As long as it's got a good word associated with it. In terms of, do they want to do away with the Electoral College? Almost assuredly. They probably also, they don't maybe want to get rid of SCOTUS, but they certainly want to stack SCOTUS. They want to make it so that there really is no capacity for I mean, look, the Democrats would prefer a direct democracy, yeah, because they have the pure numbers. And if they ever start to lose in any way because they do terrible things, well, they just import more people. I don't know how long the American experiment will last under that paradigm, but we'd have to see what's going on. I think the idea right now is to pretty much crater it anyway. And I mean, we're already having these kinds of discussions of basically from the things that the way that Brandon talks and those in his party and his ilk talk about it is that no, we really do want half of the country to just not have rights, essentially. While talking about my right to privacy, my right to this, my right to that. They just don't want you to have rights, ultimately. They want to take away your right to guns. They definitely want to take away your right to vote. They want to put you in jail indefinitely. And that's because, and I'm not saying that, like, they'll make up stuff about how the Republicans want to put everybody in cages or stuff like that. And it's like, okay, would you have evidence of that? No, you don't? Okay, I have evidence of Democrats doing these things. Right? Rewriting voting laws, Brain, for $5 says, the data on voter engagement is why Sitch and Adam are wrong about selectorate theory and its practical applications for predictive modeling. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's not the only reason why I think they're wrong about selectorate theory. And in terms of predictive modeling, there's a lot of things that go into the psychology of wanting people to come out to vote, and people being scared. And in terror management theory, it's very common. When you evoke mortality salience, it's a very, very common reaction to mortality salience, and specifically within TMT theory predicts this, is that there's a couple ways people can deal with it, but one of, if not the most common way of dealing with terror is to avoid it because it sucks. So rather than go and face your fears, most people turn away. This is like terror management theory has got some problems. It doesn't have the best support for it. Mortality salience, we can find lots of support for the relationship between mortality salience and a bunch of behaviors. But with terror management theory, one of the things that it does predict is that people will just kind of ignore it. They'll try to hide from the information, and if you go out and vote, that would cause a procking of mortality salience. Because I don't even know what's going on right now because Spoon is AFK, I believe. So, and the stream is now, in terms of the video, is now stopped because I was trying to figure out if it was just a problem on my end, but no. So we will just be waiting for him to come back here for a minute while
He's right here.
What?
He's right here.
How long have you been gone?
I've been here the whole freaking time.
I've been trying to talk to you for like 15 minutes.
What the fuck?
Are you joking? Did you take it? Did you fall asleep?
I've been here the whole time. Maybe rambling.
I don't know.
A monologue in my own head.
All right. Oh, doubt.
Why did it? That's weird. Why did it switch off? They didn't do anything on my end.
It's because I thought because you were gone for so long, I thought there was a problem with the stream, so I clicked it off and turned it back on. Okay,
no, there wasn't anything. Very weird.
All right, you were just gone for like 10 minutes, so you scared me.
Apologies.
El Muzid for 5. It doesn't matter. I knew you'd be back. El Muzid for 5 says the goal is you will lick the boot forever. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Unoriginal for 5 says Social Security goes bankrupt in 2036. Yeah, that's not quite. That's not even up for debate. That's a foregone conclusion. So they've got. Yeah, they've got to get all the tools in place before then to take over overtly. Yeah, I think so too. JC for 5 says, I wish my family never left the Soviet Union. At least I'd know that the corruption stays the same. I mean, it is in some ways better, I guess, that you at least know that your nation's corrupt. Meanwhile, instead of this pretend we're actually the least corrupt nation ever, forever, 5 ever. All right, let's continue.
We passed the most significant healthcare reform since President Obama signed the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, that was terrible, by the way.
And I believe it could create a clean energy future and save the planet. So
from what?
The most important climate initiative ever.
That's just tyranny, by the way.
Yeah, it's a way to destroy businesses, and put in all kinds of tyrannical
bullshit,
control over private businesses and people's lives.
Every single thing into the grid so we can control where you go, where you move.
A freaking example of that, right? I didn't have this up, but the California thermostats.
Yep. And then people don't you want smart things in your house? No, I don't.
Yeah, just to bring this up real quick, because this has been in the news, and we just brought it up. As heat wave grips the West, millions in California are urged to set thermostats to 78 degrees. Is it California? No, it wasn't California. Where did they have the thermostat thing?
And where was that shit installed?
It was the smart thermostat. I don't think it was California. It was... Oh my god, now Google wants to hide this shit, of course. Oh my god, they really are trying to hide this story. What?
I'm not drinking whiskey.
Okay, here it is.
I have beer.
It's Colorado. It wasn't California.
Oh god, that's even gayer.
It was thousands of Xtel customers locked out of thermostat during an energy emergency. 22,000 people lost control of temperatures in their homes for hours on Tuesday. So now a couple of things to point out about this, because I mean, first of all, just wanted to cover it quickly. They opted into this. They got a rebate on their energy bill. So it's like, hey, if you install this smart thermostat thing, then you won't have to. You'll get a rebate. You'll get some money off on your on your electricity. So people were like, okay, sure. And then they're like, actually, you're not going to have any capacity to change your thermostat. So they locked it at like 78 or 79 degrees. Just pretty hot. What's that in the C? Let's see. F to C.
18 something?
No, I don't think so. Let's see. 79. It's 26.
What?
Yeah, so they locked their air conditioning was locked at 26.
26 is hot as fuck.
I know. That's what I was saying. They locked their air conditioning at 26, 79 degrees.
That's fucking tanning.
On social media, dozens of Xtel customers complained of similar experiences. Some reported their home temperatures as high as 88. Which, let's see. I'm still not used to doing this. I've even looked it for years. That's 31.
That's hot as balls.
But they were like, we're experiencing an energy crisis, so you just can't choose anymore. And by the way,
I'm experiencing a sweating crisis. Fuck you and change my temperature, you bitch.
Their rebate, it was $100 for enrolling plus $25 off annually. That's all it was. To be locked out of your capacity to turn your air conditioning up.
That's why you get manual fans.
But again, remember, we got to worry about the environment. And that's the kind of stuff that's an opt-in now. That will not be an opt-in soon. That will not be an opt-in. You won't be able to choose whether or not you want that to happen soon enough.
Do you know who will be able to choose? The elites.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, obviously.
Because they don't give a fuck. They will drive whatever they want, fly whatever they want, ride any yacht, and you can't do a fucking thing. You will eat the bugs, you will live in the pod, and then you fucking retards who enable these fucking dipshits will sit there and be serfs.
Yep.
I hope you get shot, all of you fucking retards who vote for this crap. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm awake now.
You took a little snooze, didn't you?
About 5 minutes.
You took a little snooze.
I'm in a reclining gamer chair. Fuck you.
You took a snooze.
If you saw me right now, you'd look at me like you are so gonna fall asleep. My feet are on my desk.
I clap. There you go.
I'm not a seal.
I saw the thing that I knew. I saw a thing I recognized, and I clapped. Slayer P345 says the smart thermo shows us that we need to push for open source everything and right to repair. Yes, lest we end up not owning our electronics. Oh yeah, absolutely, 100% on open source and right to repair. 1,000% on that one. Yep.
Tell us nothing can get done.
How I really feel. I'm hungry.
There is not a single thing America cannot do. Not a single thing beyond our capacity.
Yeah, of course.
The government.
I mean, that would, yeah, but it was just no. Yeah, we can just do whatever the hell we want. That's what that means. I told you I made raviolis.
Except you can't collect rainwater.
I'll send you I'll send you a pizza roll in the mail. How about that? My ravioli. I'll put it in an envelope and send it to Ireland. There's no way that anything will go wrong there, right?
Well, I mean, the one thing in this country that is quite competent is the post office.
Oh, I'd imagine so. But DRT is king for flies. Technically, you shouldn't have your thermostat more than 10 degrees less than outdoors. Otherwise, you'll overload the AC. Really? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
10 degrees Celsius or 10 degrees Fahrenheit? Because those are big differences.
30 degrees, 20. Yeah, it's probably a noticeable drop.
Yeah, I don't know.
Celsius, anyway.
Oh my god, when I got sick yesterday, I got up in the morning and I turned on my hot tub because I thought I'd get in a little bit, like, after the stream or something. And, but instead I just left it on all day. I did end up getting in, or I thought I'd get in, like, whatever. I ended up leaving it on all day. You're normally, like, it says it takes, like, 5 hours to heat up. Instead, I left it on for, like, 10. Bro, it got up to, like, 42 degrees, which I think is, like, beyond what it's supposed to go up to. And it was... I could only sit in it for like 30 minutes. I felt better because I was feeling really sick, like I said, and I did feel better after sitting in it for a while.
You remember that I think he was a producer at CNN when the Veritas person asked him, what are they going to focus on when Trump is gone? And he said, climate change. Why? Because fear sells.
Yes, exactly. Well, it does. Of course it does.
And that tells me
well documented.
That tells me you're not interested in actually telling the truth. You just want to pump your fucking ratings.
All they care about is ratings. That's why they love. They talked about this openly. That's why they loved Trump so much. Is because their ratings went up. The second Trump was gone, every single major media network started struggling.
Yes, exactly. And also, I will say this on the stream: global warming is a scam. There is no such thing as climate change. It's called seasons, you fuckwits. The climate is not dying. We're not going to fucking perish in 5 years' time. All of that is a lie. That is a crock of shit. Look at the last 60 fucking bloody years. Every single climate prediction has been wrong. Not a single one has come to fruition. Anyone that tells you we're all going to die, humans are going to go extinct, is lying through their ass. It is bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck off, YouTube.
Well, that's just an opinion, obviously.
No, that's fact. You can kiss my shiny nutsack if you disagree.
I do. First of all, it is definitely financial. Okay, the whole thing is certainly being used financially, whether you believe all of the supposed science or not.
That's all it is.
It's financial and it's to control you, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I do agree with that 100%. Hasselhopper for 5 says, my home is set to 78 Fahrenheit 26 Celsius by default. This was not a fine print situation. The whole program was paying solely so they could limit during high usage. Yeah, which is like... Why is it high usage? Because it's really hot outside. Like when you actually really need it. So it's a completely...
I will say where I live, Island, it doesn't,
non-solution.
Island doesn't get too hot and doesn't get too cold. Like if it gets really cold, I have ski pants that are insanely warm. Like I have ski pants and socks.
Are they like those? Are they those ones where it's like the plasticky kind of? I think it's called a rip cloth or something like that. I
woke up with the wrong side of the game.
Synthetic kind of fiber stuff. I don't know. Synthetic fabric.
You think of PVC?
No, that's slick. I've had no, not it's sackcloth is the right term for it. Rip sackcloth is like rip.
No, I don't wake up with the wrong side of the gaming chair. Like this is when someone just peddles this crap to me, I just get annoyed. I was like, oh my god, we have to look at the planet. Oh, fuck off! If you want to care about the planet, kill yourself. If you're so humans about dangerous,
rip stop.
Cliff. You spastic git. A friend of mine showed me a bunch of English people pouring milk on the floor. I just looked at him and went like, dude, if you did that around
me, my god, that video made me so mad. Were you talking about the one where they were at the supermarket?
Yes.
They were, first of all, they were at a Whole Foods, which is like the Waitrose of the US.
Someone should just spear them like fucking Goldberg.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Is there another like really posh grocery store in the US? In the UK,
Spencer's?
Yeah, I guess more Marks and Spencer's then.
Posh, yeah.
Marks and Spencer's is pretty fairly posh. So it's like that, but giant, a huge store. Not Trader Joe's. I just said what it was, and now my brain just died. I just said what the name of the store is. Whole Foods. Yeah, it's like really overpriced organic stuff. You pay for the experience of being there and stuff. It's just really expensive and posh. And so they were of all places, they were in this like upscale grocer to pour milk all over the floor and protest of what exactly? Who really knows?
Well, they're fags. I'm gonna say that word because it's a fun word to say. And I can't say the 3 other
that's why
I'll just say fags.
Every single one of our streams gets a yellow check on it.
If we do it together. It's never easy. But we're proving that America, no matter how long the road, progress does come.
And by progress, I mean increasing the size of the fucking government.
Yeah, giving us more power.
Years have been tough, but today,
because of you,
no longer controls our lives. More Americans are working than ever.
No, that's not true. That's a lie. That is a straight up lie.
A lot of people have straight up left the workforce permanently.
Yes, because you were printing money, you fucking dope.
Yeah, thin slit. I can't remember what that fabric type is called, guys. I remember I made my fake like flight suit when I did Malik, the helicopter pilot from Deus Ex. And I used to remember what that what.
Hold on a second.
All right, let's continue.
Millions of Americans have been lifted out of poverty.
No.
Millions of veterans once exposed to toxic burn pits will now get what they deserve for their families and the compensation.
I mean, like, I get that that's a personal thing for him, because that's how Bo got cancer and died. But I get that. That's like the one thing you've said that I can't find objectionable, Joe. And that's only because I understand it's something personal.
American manufacturers come alive across the heartland, and the future will be made in America.
I think it's ripstop fabric. I can't remember what it's called. It's been years.
No matter what the white supremacists and the extremists say, I made a bet on you, the American people, and that bet is paying off, proving that from darkness, the darkness of Charlottesville, of COVID, of gun violence, of insurrection, we can see the light.
I don't know if you should be saying that in front of your scary red background. Out of the darkness we shall see the light. Yeah, it sounds it's so comically evil though.
Light is now visible.
Yeah, the red light sure is.
Guide us forward. Not only in words, but in actions. Actions for you, for your children, for your grandchildren, for America.
I'm so glad I wasn't on camera just now.
With all the challenges we face.
What'd you do?
My foot was dead. And
I
had
no.
to hold onto the walls, otherwise I would have like fallen off my ass.
Bruh.
So I just got up and like, my foot is completely dead.
You're not really drunk though, you're just tired or something, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of sleepy. I'm alright now.
It's early as fuck.
Yeah, but if you drink on an empty stomach, then like most people when they get drunk,
I'm gonna send you raviolis
rowdy,
through the mail.
They get rowdy or aggressive, and I'm just like, yeah sleepy spoon.
Dude, I get a couple different ways. I often get sleepy. What I mostly get, I don't know. I get all kinds of ways when I drink. It's not consistent. I can get angry, but I get angry at external things. Do you know what I mean?
You get drunk because your voice changes pitch.
I know. You're the one who told me this. I wasn't aware. Yeah, it's like, oh, Aiden's in a drink because she's going up octaves. I'm like,
yes.
All right, okay. So
yeah, the chat can tell as well when you drink, because your voice goes up in pitch.
I should get a
the chat
meter.
can tell when I drink because I don't talk.
I should get like, see if I can get like a meter to put in OBS that like measures the octave levels of my voice, and then we can see if we can measure it versus how much I've been drinking.
So you basically
like I can put a drink counter
for
yeah,
vocal pitch.
Put a breathalyzer on the screen and be like, let's continue.
Because I just get kind of wee. Like if I drink, I don't get rowdy. I just get quiet.
I give you my word as a Biden, I've never been more optimistic about America's future.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I know what.
Like, have you seen the state of the country? Like, you have the worst inflation crisis in 40 fucking years, you dope. Like, the country is worse off than it has been in fucking decades because of you.
Yeah, but he has to lie about all that. And he doesn't really have to do anything. The mainstream media lies for him.
Yeah, that's true.
We know it. Mark my words. We're going to create millions of new jobs in a clean energy economy.
No, we're not.
Think big. We're going to make the 21st century another American.
Well, they're gonna make new jobs for nobody. The energy jobs where it's just like
no one exists. Yeah.
Well, no, they create jobs where they do nothing because well, I mean, I guess when I say do nothing, the amount of infrastructure and new things that you would have to build and new jobs you would have to create to replace the existing energy sector jobs that they want to destroy by moving towards quote-unquote green energy is insane. you'd have to cover like half of the fucking ground on the entire North American continent to be able to use wind turbines and solar panels to fuel the energy needs of it. You know, it just stuff you can't do.
It doesn't have the energy.
It is scientifically impossible. Yeah. With the current technology. Maybe in the future, I don't know, but currently, no, you can't do it. That's why it's all, of course, fake.
Musk said the solar power, you don't have the capacity to run the country. Even he just said, no, you need nuclear.
Right, and Musk, of course, is totally on board with new energy alternatives. Yeah. So, and with
he
obviously
wasn't before, but he just looked at the power out, but they were like, yeah, there's no one else to run this on renewables. You don't have the power.
Yes, he's also the guy who made the electric car sexy. He is personally responsible for selling more electric cars, which I thought was supposed to be so important than anybody else on Earth.
Yeah, I'm not surprised Africans weren't doing this. Of course, that has to be one of my people has to save the rest of the fucking world. Not a surprise. And obviously he's white.
South African.
I find that offensive.
Yeah?
I'm a nice South African.
It is funny though, when I sent you that song the first time, like your response to it was just like one of the lines is that because we don't have a sense of humor, and you're like, I don't find this very funny.
Fuck you.
He's never met a nice South African, and that's not bloody surprising, man, because we're a bunch of arrogant bastards who hate black people. Tell me it's not right.
I mean, we have our reasons to actually.
I just said, tell me it's not. Tell me it's wrong.
I'm not gonna
tell me you're not an arrogant bastard who hates black people.
Is funny. The arrogant thing is quite interesting because if you know South Africans, New Zealanders, and Australians, all three accuse the other of the arrogance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Australians are way worse than us. Australians are way more fucking arrogant than South Africans, and the English is more arrogant than either of us.
I would agree with that one.
Yes, because when England wins something, oh dear fucking god, does their ego grow. And the worst is the Irish. Oh my god. When the Irish win something, they think they're the greatest thing since sliced fucking bread. I've noticed the Irish have a really weird thing where they think they're way more important than they actually are. Significantly more so. They like have American level of ego. It's fucking bizarre.
Sorry, I'm just re-looking at the lyrics of this. I literally had to put this in my video today too, a line from this. I got served at Woolies after less than 4 weeks wait. I had lunch with Rowan Atkinson when he paid and wasn't late. I know a public swimming bath where they don't piss in the pool. I know a guy who's got a job straight after leaving school. I met a normal merman and a fairly modest German, but I've never met a nice South African. No, he's never met a nice South African. And that's not bloody surprising, men, because we're a bunch of talentless murderers who smell like baboons. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, play us some rugby and then we'll kick the shit out of you.
What was the last one? We've never met one either except for Brayton Bach. Who is that, by the way? I even looked him up, but I don't know. You don't know who it is either?
No.
Except for Brayton Bach, and he emigrated to Paris. Yes, he is quite a nice South African, and he's hardly ever killed anyone. He's not smelly at all. That's why we put him in prison. What?
I haven't killed anyone either, by the way.
But you've hardly killed anyone either. Good. Sorry. Let's get back to Brandon.
American century. Because the world needs
apparently CNN, this was on CNN, and they color corrected the video.
I'm not at all shocked.
Not on the politics of grievance, but on a future we can build together.
Grievance politics is the politics of the left.
That's like exclusively what you are.
I know. It's astonishing, right? Like that's your thing. Again, it's all projection.
That's a terrifying thing. I have no idea what the left stands for otherwise than we hate you.
Did CNN make it pink? Because that's hilarious.
Oh my god, did they?
Because who said that in the chat? That Hasahapa said they tried to lighten the red. I mean, if you're gonna, there's only two ways you could do that is to turn down the contrast or the saturation, or to change the hue. Oh my god, they did make it look pink.
Wouldn't that change Biden's face?
CNN, turn up the brightness and lower. You can do it without causing too much. He already looks a bit yellow, so that might be for other reasons,
That's
though.
jungle
Hey,
fever.
Penny, how's it going? But I got the monkeypox, the donkey pox, I suppose.
Well, it's his son that has the yellow fever.
He's got all They made it pink. Oh my god! Here, wow, it's a very flamboyant
very
pink
obvious?
too. Yeah. What do you think?
Oh wow! What the fuck? So those two guys in the background is going to be singing "It's Raining Men."
It's raining men. Oh my god! They really changed
fucking
it.
YMCA.
Remember when they? I mean, look, they're not beyond this. We know they changed. They used to turn the saturation up on Trump's face all the time to make him look more orange.
Yeah, or
dude, it's just shameless.
Or messed up Joe Rogan's face.
Right, to make him look green and sickly.
Yes, and it wasn't nearly as fucking bad.
Wow,
you shameless bunch of cunts.
I know.
Republicans believe that for them to succeed, everyone else has to fail.
Yeah, that actually is how that works. That's how democracy works, actually.
That's actually just how life works, okay? Some people will succeed, some people will fail.
And for again, Republicans to succeed, you all need to fuck off. What's up, Bill?
Your Bill, yeah. But it's pretty freaking funny though. That's hilarious. Because that's really what their thing is that like, look, we need to make everybody equal, but we can't make everyone equally succeed. So instead, we'll just make everyone equally sad and miserable and fail. Don't ever aspire towards anything. Just give up and live on daddy government and provide your vote and do what we tell you to, like a good little minion. That's how they see you, and that's how they want to run the country. Is they want everyone to be completely loyal,
miserable,
full of learned helplessness, and have no aspirations besides mediocrity. Because that's true equality is utter mediocrity.
Jack off, play games, and then just slowly kill yourself.
That's Be a good little consumer.
Yeah, be a
Don't
consumer,
ask questions.
Nothing else,
just to consume product and get excited for next product.
Yeah. But not all of it, because we need to conserve the planet.
Right. Eat your bugs. Live in your pod.
America is big enough for all of us to succeed, and that is the nation we're building. The nation where no.
It's actually not.
That's like, not the nation it would be great. You're building. What in the fuck are you smoking?
Yes. First of all, no. You just called 74 million people enemies of the state.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You can totally succeed, just not if you're a Republican.
No, you're not allowed to. You need to be canceled. You need to have, I mean, that's what they do. It's like, oh, I found out that followed this person on Facebook and they said something about Donald Trump and I didn't like it. So I called their employer and got them fired. You can't do that with the left. Like, I mean, like, that's not the way things work right now.
Strategy.
And it's not just them. That's been going on for years. That's what happened to me. You know what I mean? Like, it has happened to countless many people.
I ran for president because I believe we're in a battle for the soul of this nation.
No, you ran for president because you were pushed into it. Really,
you ran for president to keep your fag son out of jail.
Maybe that as well, yeah. But also because the Democrats were like, "What do we got? Jeez, nothing. I guess we got this guy."
Look at it. Look at this. This is the man who says like, "Oh, we to keep our institutions." Nina Turner. A speech will not save our chances at a representative democracy, expand the Supreme Court, abolish the filibuster, abolish the Electoral College. So basically just subvert the entire fucking country because we can't get our current way.
Yeah, they've been saying that though for a while. If we can't get what we want, throw a big fit. Remember.
Yeah, then the government is inefficient.
Well, again, remember.
It's so fucking Wilsonian.
Yeah, their entire sort of paradigm of looking at the left in general is based on a very, I'm going to say, left-leaning politics are feminine and childish in that it's very idealistic, based on ideas of fairness. And by fairness, I don't mean it's fairness as in like, how come his cupcake is slightly bigger than mine? Like a child's idea of fairness. You know what I mean? Not understanding the harsh realities of the world. And so that's why you get very feminine and childlike ideas that come out of them like that. So, just my opinion. But an objectively true one.
I don't believe that to be true. I believe the soul is the breath, the life, and the essence of who we are. The soul is what makes us us. The soul of America is defined by the sacred proposition that all are created equal in the image of God, that all are entitled to be treated with decency, dignity, and respect, that all deserve justice and
No, not everyone deserves to be treated with respect.
It's very heavenly, the image that you're saying in front of.
Yeah, it's also weird because your party hates religion, by the way. Yeah. Well, excuse me, they're fine with, they like Islam, but they hate, they really do not like Christianity. But also, you know, you're not entitled to dignity or respect. You're really not entitled to that. Respect is earned. You are not entitled to that either. It's another thing like I know. It's another thing like equality, where no, that's not one of the things that you're entitled to as an American, is equality. Equality under the law, yes. But equality of outcome, absolutely not.
You don't even have equality under the law. You have equality if you have money.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah, let's...
Although it's not working. That's working out for Trump, because if they really hate you, even money can't buy you out of some of it, does it? Because look at what they're doing to Trump.
Although I think the way that they're going after Trump is comedically bad, because Trump just makes him look funny.
The way they're going after Trump makes Trump look like a victim. They want to imprison him so badly, like so badly they want to imprison him. It's like, but if you do that, if you put him in jail, they know they can't really do it, right? They want to so badly. Yeah. And I am waiting to see if one of them actually tries to do it, because it's over for them if they do. Like,
yeah, the country will rebel.
Country will erupt. That would be it. That would be it. If they actually did arrest Trump, I think that would be it. Now they're incredibly inept, so we'll have to see if they have the capacity to control themselves and not do that.
They haven't done it. Trump hasn't done anything for them to be arrested over. That's the thing.
Oh my God! Let's watch a video from the Young Turks. I got it up on deck.
Oh my God!
Dude, I know. But no, just about Trump. We'll get through the Brandon stuff.
And that democracy must be defended, for democracy makes all these things possible.
Again, remember, democracy, when they say democracy, they mean their political oligarchy and political hegemony. That's what they mean when they say democracy. They do not mean your right to go to a ballot box and vote and pick your elected representatives. They mean our political power.
Folks, and it's up to us. Democracy begins and will be preserved in we, the people's habits of the heart.
Oh my God, so
I know.
Gay. It's so fucking cringe.
Courage that digs deep when we need it. Empathy that fuels democracy. The willingness to see each other not as enemies but as fellow Americans. Look, our democracy isn't perfect. It always has been.
Democracy, 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 democracy. We should have done it. We should have done a tally. God damn it. We'll do it with the we'll watch
He's done it 6 times so far.
Have you been tallying it? The whole speech?
Yeah, well, in the last 30 seconds or so.
Well, let's do it through all of
because he said it so far.
He has to have said it more than 50 times in this speech. In this 20-minute speech. You know, 25-minute speech.
Notwithstanding those folks you hear on the other side there, they're entitled to be outrageous.
They're entitled to be outrageous. Are they? I'm pretty sure that guy, by the way, who was shouting with the bullhorn got arrested, but I'm not sure. Let me look it up.
Democracy, but history and common sense. Good manners is nothing they've ever suffered from. But history and common sense tell us that opportunity, liberty, and justice for all are most likely to come to pass in a democracy. We have never fully realized the aspirations of our founding, but every generation has opened those doors a little bit wider to include more people who have been excluded before. My fellow Americans, America is an idea, the most powerful idea in the history of the world, and it beats in the hearts of the people of this country. It beats in all our hearts. It unites America. It is the American creed, the idea that America guarantees that everyone be treated with dignity. It gives hate no safe harbor. It installs in everyone the belief that no matter where you start in life, there's nothing you can't achieve. That's who we are. That's what we stand for. That's what we believe. And that's precisely what we're doing. Opening doors, creating possibilities.
No, it doesn't seem like they arrested him. I saw somebody say that, might have been on Twitter, but I guess that didn't actually happen. There's no report of it yet. Don't be shocked either way, honestly, but.
Focusing on the future. And we're only just beginning.
Oh God, we're just beginning. Hate to see where it goes.
Make our nation free and fair, just and strong, noble and whole. And this work is the work of democracy, the work of this generation.
Again, democracy, democracy, democracy. Democracy is holy. Democracy is their god. It is just a stand-in. For when they say it, again, it's their power. That's what they mean. When they are saying it to other people, it's evoking an idea of a moral, an unquestionable moral good. That's why it's okay for America to go over and knock over sand shitholes in the Middle East and install democracy there when we really just want to steal oil from them, because democracy is so ingrained as a good and a positive thing in the American mindset that he knows that he can say that word and it will get people on his side. It's insane, but that's the reality of it. And it's why they say it hundreds of times in every speech.
Our time, for all time. We can't afford to leave anyone on the sidelines. We need everyone to do their part. So speak up, speak out, get engaged, vote, vote, vote. And if we do our duty in 2022 and beyond, then ages still to come will say, we, all of us here, we kept the faith. We preserve democracy.
The faith. He said the quiet part out loud. That democracy is a religion for them. Kept the faith. There it was.
We heeded our worst. We heeded not our worst instincts, but our better angels. We proved that for all its imperfections, America is still the beacon to the world, an ideal to be realized.
It really is not anymore.
There's nothing more important.
It's a joke.
Nothing more sacred. Nothing more American. That's our soul. That's who we truly are, and that's who we must always be. I have no doubt, none, that this is who we will be, and that we'll come together as a nation that will secure our democracy, that for the next 200 years, we'll have what we had the past 200 years, the greatest nation on the face of the earth. We just need to remember who we are. We are the United States of America, the United States of America.
All right.
May God protect our nation. And may God protect all those who stand.
We're very, very united, except for the 75 million people who are traitors. All right.
God bless you all. Democracy. Thank you.
Well, they did play God Save the Queen in a minute. They might have at the end later. But Amused. I get it. For 5 says, what you're telling me they're using dog whistles? No, they're not dog whistles. They just, it's not like a secret understood meaning. It's just that democracy is not a dog whistle in the way that they have used that term. It's that democracy means something different to them. It is a dog whistle, maybe in so much as that it is meant to inspire people and get them to go along with something. I think Spoon may have fallen asleep again. You there, Spoon?
Yep.
Oh, okay, good. I thought you might have fallen asleep.
Oh, I'm here.
All right.
I'm just quiet.
Okay, so here's what I got. Because we got some fallout from this.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, I don't know why it would. What is this? Is this the actual thing? I think that's the actual thing. Yeah. Okay. I've got this timestamp. So, press secretary comes out today to talk about it. You can tell she's in a real pleased mood because people obviously immediately started memeing on this. The red lights, the 74 million people are traitors. They have no place in our country. They're a threat to our democracy. But we have to come together in unity, enforced unity, right?
Yes, because nothing else is unity like fighting half the fucking country.
The president last night argued very forcefully that democracy is under assault, but what kind of concrete actions does he actually plan to take, given that he described this essentially as a fairly existential threat to the American Republic?
So, as you also heard from the president yesterday, he believes we're at an inflection point, and so that's an important thing why he wanted to make sure he gave that speech. But you also heard the president express optimism, right, about the future of America, which was something that was important for him to deliver to the American people.
Okay, not addressing the question at all. All right.
That he believes there isn't nothing we can't do, right? He believes that
there isn't nothing we can't do. Well said.
We can't do everything, anything, as a country. And we have seen throughout our history, America has made its greatest progress out of the darkest times. We see that.
You're still not answering the question.
One way, of course, we can do that is by making our voices heard. And he said that. He said that the American people have a choice. But it wasn't just a policy.
You have a choice? So even though she's trying to play, defense for this, so you have a choice. It sounds like if you don't go along with it, though, something bad will happen. Yeah, as his first comment says, telling people you don't agree with me, you're the enemy. Totally isn't political. Sure. All right.
Speech, obviously, the president believes that we can make great progress out of the darkest moments, and he calls on all Americans, regardless of which side of the aisle you sit on.
No, actually, he said that the MAGA Republicans, so the 74 million people who voted for Trump, were threats to our democracy. Were threats. He called them a threat. So, no, I don't think he was calling for unity. He was calling for, well, I guess your choice is get on your knees, beg for forgiveness, or he's gonna come for you, right? Yeah, join our religion or be excommunicated. Well said, Samuel Roberts. Yep, that's it.
Ideology that you may follow, which regardless of the political persuasion.
Yep, Hasso, fall in line or be cleansed. That's what it sounded like to me. I don't know what you guys heard. Korean Jean-Pierre is certainly trying, but to excuse it, but that's what I think we heard.
To unite around democracy, and he thought it was an important message. Again,
to unite around their religion of democracy. You see why we get upset at, why we get annoyed by this democracy worshiping stuff, yeah? I'm not saying that democracy can't be a good system. It's just unfortunately it has this tendency to fail and fall into spirals like this.
Inflection point, and that was the message that he delivered. Again, giving people a choice and saying to folks, we need to come together and make sure our voices are heard.
So other than urging Americans to vote and make their voices heard, the president has no plan to confront this threat that he described very forcefully last night.
I mean, it's not the first time he's confronted or spoke about this threat. He's done it multiple times at multiple stages.
This is not an answer, Corinne. Is he going to do something about it?
During the last 3 years, during his campaign, a couple times as well during his administration, and he'll continue to lift that up when he feels it's needed. But what the president did last night was incredibly powerful. It was clear.
It was incredibly cringe and bizarre iconography, sure.
It was concise. It was steadfast.
No.
Which is, and he did it a prime time, as you all know, to the American people, speaking directly to them that this is a time for.
She didn't answer the fucking question. This is what I hate this shit. Is he going to do something about this or not? He called 74 million Americans potential traitors and threats to the democracy. So he's going to do something about it? Answer the fucking question.
Come together.
What I'm asking is if there's any action behind his words.
Well, the action is making your voices heard. That is a powerful action. We have seen it across time. We have seen it throughout our American history.
What do you mean by making your voices heard, though? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do about it, huh?
Making your voices heard actually can change the direction of a country. So I would say that is the most powerful tool that we have as a country right now.
And I know you guys have addressed this to a certain extent, but because you're behind the podium, you could address the criticisms and the questions about why the president delivered what sounded very much like a politically charged speech as an official White House event, taxpayer-funded, with 2 Marines in uniform in particular flanking him.
Yep, sure did sound like that, didn't it? It sounded like it was a personal political speech to rally his side against the other, right? But he did that as the president, well, with all the regalia of the president. And yet that was a Democrat Party rallying cry. Specifically, he was saying go vote for Democrats. So
on camera forever.
and fight against the MAGA Republicans.
I'll take your first question. Look, the way we see it here, and
I don't care how you really see it. Just be honest. Tell the truth. Don't give me your subjectivist or relativistic perspective on things. Just tell the goddamn truth.
The way many Americans across the country see it is standing up for democracy is not political. Denouncing political.
It is when you say democracy, you mean Democrat political hegemony. It is inherently political and it's inherently partisan.
Violence is not political. Defending rights and freedoms is not political.
What kind of rights? Like the right to the like your Second Amendment right that Biden excoriated? Huh.
Clear that the challenges facing the nation is not political. We don't call any of that political. We see that as leadership, and we see that as presidential. To your question about the Marines, look, the president gave an important speech last night, a critical speech. at an inflection point.
It was certainly interesting.
And our democracy, our values,
there it is.
Our values that our men and women who protect us every day and fight for it every day believe in as well. The presence of the Marines at the speech was intended to demonstrate the deep and abiding respect.
No, it was intended as a threat. Let's just be honest. I have the power of the military behind me. It comes the day after he says, you don't have the power to fight the federal government. A day after he says that, he shows up, talks about how half of the freaking country are potential traitors, how they're a threat to the democracy, and he has 2 Marines behind him the entire time with a big red light shining on them. That is a threat. It's a shitty threat, but it's a threat. Yeah, Jay Cornovi, she's very beautiful. Just a shame she's a Dodger. Little mouse. She needs a slap to answer right. Yeah, I think she's very pretty, but she is terrible. I don't know if she's worse than Psaki or not. I think actually Psaki might have been better in terms of actually being able to answer questions. Oof, though. Harry the Human Substitute, Aaron Carr for £10 says, the left is so childish they cannot grow out of the mindset that they are fighting an evil, formal, boring right-wing Christian conservatives from the 90s or 80s or 70s. Yeah, they're really stuck in that mindset. And it's why I used to very much stray away from using the term evil to describe my political opposition or people who disagree with me on politics. And for the most part, I do think that's a very stupid move. That's an ignorant and small-minded worldview to just call other people evil who disagree with you. However, there is evil in this world. There absolutely is evil in this world. And there are people who want to do evil. And there are a lot of people who use politics on either side. But right now, it seems predominantly on the left to do evil. And that's just the way I see things. Harry the Human Substitute, Aaron Carford, another £10 says, this is why they're obsessed with Russia. They still live in the Cold War mind. China cannot be considered a threat to them. As you don't know, Russia also, done for now, need to not waste money. Well, thank you, man. Yeah, the other reason they can't go against China is because China is funding a lot of this stuff. Yeah, but Dems are evil. Yes, Patricia's one comment. Hashtag not all, but the ones in power. I mean, I don't want to repeat, just with flipping the script of what Biden just said. But yeah. So we'll finish this one. She's got one other statement. She's clearly annoyed. All right, she talks about this for another 5 minutes.
The president has for these service members, to these ideals and the unique role our independent military plays in defending our democracy, no matter which party is in power. Again, no matter which party.
Oh, no. It really only matters when you're in power. Let's be honest. Let's be really clear. You can lie all you like, but we all know the truth.
Party is in power. And it is not abnormal, it is actually normal for presidents from either side of the aisle to give speeches in front of members of the military, and including President Ronald Reagan, President George H.W. Bush. It is not an unusual sight, or is not an unusual event.
Hey, Karine. Now, I don't know. I know that you brought those two up because you had them fact-checked. But when George H.W. Bush and Ronald Reagan gave speeches in front of military officers, what was the topic of the speech? Because I don't know off the top of my head. But I would guess that they were speeches about national defense. You know what I mean? She did call him Donald Reagan. You're right, Neon Suspender. She did call him Donald Reagan. I would imagine they were speeches that had something to do with the military or national defense. Not about how half the country are traitorous threats to democracy.
To have happened. I'm gonna move around. You've asked 3 questions. No, you've asked 3 questions. I did. No, I answered the first question. You just, I had to just dive in a little bit more, but I certainly answered it.
You can tell she is so agitated. She does not want to be doing. Look, I understand. Her job must not be easy to wake up in the morning after that speech and have to run defense for it, right?
Making your voices heard is a powerful tool. I answered it the first time you asked. I'm gonna go around. Go ahead, Nancy.
Oh, thanks so much, Karine. Just on the Treasury Department's oil price.
That was it. I thought she would talk for a while more, but I have the other time code here.
Just to follow up on this point, noting that rhetoric and delivering speeches can, I understand the kind of inspirational kind of motivation factor there, but just frankly, can the American people expect any sort of policy rollout underlying the speech yesterday?
Still trying to get at the fucking question that was asked before. What is he gonna do? He comes out here, makes a damning speech about how half the freaking country are potential terrorists. Is he gonna do something about it? You did not answer that question beforehand, Karine. So try again.
In the days ahead to actually address the threat to democracy?
Look, I think what the president was trying to do at this moment, and we've seen this before, is give Americans a choice. How do we move forward?
So again, you have a choice. You can either join us, submit to us, or we're going to do something.
In this inflection point. And one of the ways that we have seen time and time again in history is making sure people have their voices heard. And that comes in many different ways.
What people have their voices heard? Certainly you weren't allowed to have your voice heard if you supported Trump, if you had problems, if you in any way questioned the 2020 election, if you questioned the CDC or the vaccines, if you questioned critical race theory. No, you can't have your voices heard under a whole lot of circumstances. You get banned from all kinds of social media, and you certainly are not supported by the government in any way in your right to free speech. So don't at me with that shit.
And he believes, as president, it is important for him to be very clear and direct and to fight the hardest for our democracy. And so that is what you saw. You saw a very strong message from the president. It was clear what he was saying to the American people. It's time to take a stance. It's time to take action. And we also see that. We see that for polling about what the American people are anxious about, what they care about is our democracy. So it is not unusual. It is something that we have seen over the last several weeks. And so, the president's going to continue to have those conversations, and he's going to continue to make sure that he makes that clear.
Well, what's the administration's action besides telling people to go vote?
Well,
again, oh my God, she doesn't want to say the answer, because there is some answer, by the way, but she's not supposed to say it. That's why this is now the third time she's deflecting on it.
We should not underestimate what that can do. The power of the bully pulpit, the power of the president, and that action that he took last night, and what that could make happen, what that could lead to. And we've seen that in the past. This is not unusual, right? To have a speech like this, and to encourage people to act, to send a message, so that the American people understand what is happening in this country. And so again,
you've certainly done a lot to obfuscate that.
To level with the American people about threats he sees to our nation and our values, and that's what you heard from him last night. And we believe it indeed resonated. And so
it resonated all right. That's for sure. You woke up and saw Twitter this morning, bitch, and you were like, oh shit, what do we do to ameliorate this mess?
Something that he's going to continue to do. It is a powerful message.
Although I guarantee you that she wore the red suit because to reflect that, yeah, red, it's just that's the color of red-blooded Americans, right? Not at all spooky and weird.
Delivered by the president. I'm going to continue. Go ahead.
All right, so that's all she had to actually say on it, and as you can see, she failed to answer a single goddamn question. Also, Biden has apparently already forgotten his speech. He already forgot it. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Twitter's being a little slow. Here we go.
All right.
Mr. President, do you consider all Trump supporters to be a threat to the country?
No, everyone.
Come on, look, guys. You keep trying to make that case. I don't consider.
You said it. You said the MAGA Republicans, which are the Trump supporters, are a threat to the country. You said it last night.
Anyone who calls for the use of violence fails to condemn violence when it's used, refuses to acknowledge when an election has been won, insists upon changing the way in which the rules can count votes. That is a threat to democracy.
There it is again.
Democracy. Everything we stand for rests on the platform of democracy. When people voted for Donald Trump, support him now, they weren't voting for attacking the Capitol. They weren't voting for overruling the election. They were voting for a philosophy he put forward. So I am not talking about anything other than it is inappropriate, and it's not only happening here, but other parts of the world, where there's a failure to recognize and condemn violence whenever it's used for political purposes, failure to condemn the attempt to manipulate electoral outcomes, failure to acknowledge when elections were won or lost.
Okay, so that's his new response, right? Which was deny the shit he said the night before. Okay, like who is buying this? And by the way, a couple more things. Spoon, are you there? He may have passed out. Oh my god. I could tell. I knew he was sleeping, but I thought he'd be able to wake up. You should have gotten some coffee.
Oh, I'm on here.
Are you sure?
Yes, you just said coffee 2 seconds ago.
Did you get some coffee?
No, I'm here the whole time.
What were we talking about? What did I say? What were we talking about right before coffee, Spoon?
I heard coffee.
What was I talking about before coffee? What were we watching before coffee?
You were watching?
We were watching Biden's response today.
We've been watching his response the last 2 hours.
To his speech from last night. Dude, I think you're too tired. Do you want to go to bed?
To anything last night?
Do you want to go to bed?
What did he say last night? Not this, by the
speech,
way.
Or
no,
the speech
thing
from...
before that.
Huh?
Before that.
The speech.
I'm confused.
The whole scary red light speech.
No, before that.
What?
It must have been something before that. You don't come up with like this crazy shit that he comes up with now out of the blue. Like his crazy shit speech must be responsive to something.
No, it's just that. Well, it's because probably something to do with Mar-A-Lago.
That's way too down. They've
been
trying to
can I wake? That. Spoon, I'm gonna wake you up. You can't sleep through this one. All right.
Oh God.
I got something you can't sleep through. I got something I know you can't sleep through because it's too shrill to sleep through. Oh, it is.
A new Justice Department court filing has revealed that Trump may have attempted...
Are you actually watching my stream, Spoon?
It's Trump looking like someone just pinched his balls.
Can you watch it now? Oh, it's Anna Kasparian. You can't sleep through this.
To hide the classified documents that he had decided to take home with him from the White House. Something that he was not supposed to do, something that he is now being investigated for. And while I appreciate the careful rhetoric used by the DOJ in this court filing, I will say it is, in my opinion, pretty clear that he was trying to obstruct the DOJ's investigation into these classified documents.
Rubbish. This is not what fucking happened.
It's complete and utter rubbish. There's no other way to say it.
If this was the case that happened, this would be an open and shut case, but it's not.
But it's also, here's the fucking thing. Here's the key part, Anna. He was the president. He is now the former president. He can declassify documents as he fucking pleases.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes. Well, as president, he could have. So it was fine for him to have these documents. There is no freaking issue legally with him having these documents. So this entire thing it's just more fake nonsense that they are. And if you ask me why is Biden doing this? It must have something to do with the Mar-A-Lago raid. I think it must, because people are very mad about it. Why are people very mad about it? Because it's an obvious violation of Trump's rights. It is political persecution. It's a political witch hunt.
Yeah, of course it is.
I mean, Trump had the right to have these documents. He had the right. He could have declassified the documents.
He did. By taking it away, that's what he's allowed to do as president.
This is all absolute, like, again, politically illiterate nonsense. How, Anna, have you been doing this for 12 years or however long it's been? It's got to be close to that, 12 years, and you have no political acumen whatsoever. That I do find almost impressive just because of how stupid it is. It is impressively stupid.
She must be because normally her hair is like so tied back tightly.
Actually, no, the reality is she actually does realize that this is BS, and that's why her hair is down, because she's not angry. She's lying.
Doesn't
letting
your hair down mean you're not angry? You're kind of
no. I'm saying just from seeing Anna for many years, when the hair is pulled back, she's in attack. Do you know what I mean? Like when the hair is pulled back, she's in. Yeah, she's that's when she's angry. When the hair is down, It's because she's she's fooling around. She wants to cover up some shit. She wants to lie.
Is she
right?
married?
I don't think so. Let's look. Is Anna Kasparian married? I don't think so, but let's see. Oh, she has Christian Lopez. They were married in 2015, so they've been married for a while.
She's been married since before Trump?
I know.
Wow.
Christian Lopez. I have no idea what he looks. Has he been on the show?
Good dicking. I say that very bluntly. Yes, I'm aware. If he did, you would not be such a temperamental bitch.
Bruh.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't know if there's a... Oh, there's a... Oh, he's pretty handsome. Can I... Does this work?
But he's not packing, is he?
I don't know. Oh, can I even see this? Okay. Yeah, there you go.
He looks like if Ben Affleck was kind of gayer.
He's not a bad-looking guy, though, at all.
Hmm.
No, but look. This is them, yeah? God damn, he's taller than her. There you go.
That's not saying
Is that her?
though.
Yeah. He's not in terrible shape or anything, though.
She's tiny.
Looks like a decent... I think she is a tiny lady, too.
She's so small.
I don't know. They're a cute
She's like
couple. I
5
don't
foot,
know.
like,
I have nothing bad to say.
5'5". No, she's little.
Yeah, they look like a cute couple. If only I didn't know how much of a shrill, horrible, insufferable woman you were, Anna. She's got really thin legs. They're almost as thin as mine. Holy shit. Like, that's impressive, I guess. I mean, I almost died to get that physique. Bruh, let's continue.
Filing came in response to Trump's request for an independent review of the materials seized from his home. He, of course, is making the argument that some of those materials are privileged, and so he is not okay with the FBI going through them.
Yeah,
but we'll see if the
judge...
It's his private. A lot of them are his private documents. They're just going through everything willy-nilly.
This is the bill.
Not that we would know, because the FBI document, the warrant, the affidavit is
this is the Bill Clinton
redacted out
all over again.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Rubbish.
Actually agrees with what Trump is asking for, which is essentially a third party to look through those documents and ensure that privileged material is not being reviewed by the FBI. Now, among the new disclosures in this 36-page filing were that the search yielded 3 classified documents in desks inside Trump's office, with more than 100 documents in 30.
Hey, Anna, do you not also it's inside of his highly secure resort?
Yeah.
That not anybody can just walk into. And the desk probably also had locks them on top of it, but it's not like, yeah, anyone can just walk in here. Are you joking? Like, this is how this is how the Young Turks is always at one. Everything is, oh my God, can you believe the thing the Republicans did today? It doesn't matter. Like, you could be like, Donald Trump took a shit and it was so bad. It was so stinky. What a terrible shit. And I can't believe he would do that. And it's like, yeah, okay, great. But get mad about it.
Also, when it says it's classified, that doesn't tell me what's on it.
Well, we don't know anything.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not particularly bothered by that.
I have an Instagram I haven't used in 5 years. Yeah, I have it only to look at stuff on Instagram. On the 5 times a year I need to for something.
Instagram's gay.
I don't use it. All that was on it was just pictures of food I was cooking when I was a really, really broke grad student, and some memes. That's about it.
13 boxes or containers with classification markings in the residence, including some at the most restrictive levels. So that discovery happened after Trump's lawyers, by the way, had lied to the DOJ about Trump no longer having in his possession.
No, that's not what happened, Anna. Please, you calling somebody else a liar when you just lied. Pretty fucking cute, but you can't do that over here. No, Anna. The DOJ knew he had these documents. He asked them if he needed to turn them over, and they said no 2 months ago. Now they have changed their mind. That's the problem. You lying or stupid bitch. It's one or the other.
Classified material. So that's another part of this investigation that I'm curious about, right? So
you're curious? Why don't you look into it then?
Trump lied to his lawyers and the lawyers relayed inaccurate information to the DOJ?
Excuse me, Anna, isn't it your job to be a reporter? Why are you curious about this? You could find out the truth by just looking it up, spending 10 minutes to look into this. But you choose not to because you choose to play stupid. That is, I think, the best defense of both Anna and Chunk, they don't look into anything, and then they just pretend. That was the thing with like Kyle Rittenhouse, when for months and months and months, Anna kept saying, he crossed state lines, he got a gun, and he crossed state lines with it, as if that was a crime. It's not. She said it countless times. And then she did apologize for that, right? She's like, well, now that new information is coming out, it turns out that some of our reporting, it was still accurate, but we didn't necessarily, like, no, okay, you lied for months about Kyle Rittenhouse. That's all their defense is that, well, we didn't have the best information. Aren't you a reporter? That's your job. Dude, Spoon and I are sitting here in our freaking houses, like just doing, like, I mean, yeah, we both do this, seriously, but we're not in a studio, you know what I mean? We're supposed to be there as news anchors,
That's
purporting
why
the
we're
news.
because we are more fact-driven. We're not trying to change a culture.
Right.
I said this
again,
before, this is why Styx is so good. Because Styx just like gives his blunt, honest opinion because he's independent. He's not being pushed by somebody else.
And Styx is one of the most accurate political commentators and predictors of the last decade by far at this point.
Yes, I call him a political messiah.
Because he's certainly a prophet. Yeah, he's certainly a prophet. He has been so right on so many things.
It's quite creepy, actually.
What's because he's been watching it. When you look at something and you analyze it for long enough, you figure out what the heck you're looking at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or are his lawyers just flat out lying about what Trump actually has in his possession? We'll find out.
You're usually flat out lying, Anna, but all right.
Looked into and understand representing Trump is such a liability that when it comes to this particular investigation, he's having difficulty finding lawyers who want to represent him.
Oh, that's why?
Now, that was...
Do you hear that? The insanity of that?
It's because she's been like this since like 2017.
She said that the reason Trump has a hard time finding lawyers is because he's just an awful person. No, Anna, the reason he has a hard time finding lawyers is because the Democrats go after their families. It's happened time and time again. They attack the families of his lawyers and try to destroy them. That's why he has a hard time finding representation. How very cute of you to not note that part. That's why. Because you ran a big segment about Keffels and their parents and their family being targeted and stuff, didn't you? But you don't really give a shit when the families of Trump's lawyers get targeted by them protesters. Or when people show up outside of the homes of SCOTUS, do you? You don't care about any of that, do you? How cute. How very cute.
Twice the number of classified documents the former president's lawyers turned over voluntarily while swearing an oath that they had returned all the material demanded by the government.
Yes, they did.
The DOJ filing also made clear that the
Anna, they did turn over all of that was requested by the government. They asked specifically, what do you want us to hand over? And they handed over every document that was requested. The government then decided months and months later, there were more documents that they had signed off that it was okay for him to have that they wanted. Stop lying or being stupid. Preferably both. Thank you. Jesus Christ.
Prosecutors are now focused on Trump potentially taking steps to obstruct justice, which wouldn't be surprising to me because in previous investigations, it was clear that he was attempting to obstruct justice.
How?
And he never was prosecuted for it.
Oh, so then how is it clear?
Faced any charges for it.
How is it clear then?
In this case, though, considering the severity of the issue, considering the sensitive nature of the documents he wrongly took home with him, who knows? He could be prosecuted.
It was not wrong for him to take.
Making it clear.
This is funny to me. It's like
it was not wrong for him to take them home at the time. Why is it funny to you though? They're just so nuts.
The reason I find this funny is because for 6 years these people are like trying to bust the nut, rubbing one out. Like they like, oh my god, I'm so close, but they never get the busted nut. It's just constantly rubbing themselves through a fucking hole in their trouser pocket, and they never get to the end. And it's just constantly, it's like, oh my god, these people have blue balls for Trump for like 6
they miss
years.
it. They all sound like jilted ex-lovers, don't they?
Like, I was like, oh my god, we need to pay
attention. She's gonna come back to me eventually. If I just troll her on the internet, I know I'll get her back.
If you've ever watched the Hotch twins,
creepy stalker.
When they pretend like busting nuts, like they never get to that point. Like this is why it drives them fucking nuts. Like they've been blue balled by Trump for like 6 fucking years.
By the way, I'm fairly sure Anna's about to leave. TYT. She got into a big public fight with Chunk the other day.
Really?
Yeah. And Chunk like had to. had to
means
kind of
she's gonna be
defend
fine, it's
her.
kinda sane.
I don't know why she would leave. I don't know who else would hire her.
MSNBC.
I guess so. I don't know.
It'd be funny because it's Cenk's old employers.
That would be really funny. And that would be quite amusing.
CNN, Brian Stelter, the just left. They need a slot.
I mean, to be fair, I can imagine that working for a Turkish guy who denies the Armenian genocide for 10 years as an Armenian has got to be a tough one. I know she's expressed.
She makes money.
Yeah, but no, she has complained about that before, that and sort of apologized for denying the Armenian genocide, but not really. There's just a great clip of him where it's taken out of context, of course, because he says, "Where'd all the Armenians go? Don't care." I've used it so many times.
Well, I don't know if they released a statement, but someone close to the investigation within the DOJ has said that if Trump is ever charged for any of this, it is not going to happen prior to the midterms, because they don't want to give any impression that this is politically motivated.
It is politically motivated.
They want to keep this professional. They want to stick to the facts. The DOJ is
How dare
not
they?
releasing
How dare
statements
they?
about this investigation on social media. Instead, they decided to respond to Trump through these official court filings, and I think that is the right way to do it, because when they do the court filings, they also provide some additional details and evidence as to why
like
it
that
is that they had to go about this investigation the way that they have.
80% blacked out.
You guys before, they've given Trump every opportunity to just comply. Like, the raid didn't need to happen if he just gave back the classified documents he had in his possession.
He did.
Now, investigators
you're lying.
evidence that government records were likely concealed and removed.
Spoon, this is from yesterday. So this is way after we knew all the information that he had handed over all the documents, and that he was okay to have the ones that he still had. So she is, just like with Kyle Rittenhouse, lying well after the facts are known by everybody. And it does kind of drive me nuts, because it's like, we get a warning strike for COVID misinformation while we're just reading news sources. And she's allowed to, and the Young Turks are allowed to say misinformation. I do hope Kyle Rittenhouse sues them. I don't know if they have enough money to be worth suing. But he said when he was asked a couple months ago who was like top on his list, he said the Young Turks. And again, I don't know if they have enough money to be worth suing over. But
from the storage room at Mar-A-Lago after the Justice Department sent Trump's office a subpoena for any remaining documents with classified markings. So it appears that
they already said it was okay for him to have these ones. They checked it months ago. Rat King, she's a bottle blonde. Me too. So I can't talk shit about that one.
Hide the documents. That led prosecutors to conclude that efforts were likely taken to obstruct the government's investigation. The government filing.
Oh, sorry. Also, Kiza is doing the movie stream. I thought maybe we'd wait till tomorrow on that, because I thought we were supposed to do it on Saturday. But I guess Kiza is streaming a movie. I do not know. I think it was a surprise stream yesterday or on Wednesday. If you'd rather watch a movie than watch us bitch about politics, please go ahead into the Discord and check that out. Normally I'd pop in, but I really have some things I want to get through that we didn't get through on Wednesday because everyone was streaming over us. Well, they weren't streaming over us. We were streaming over them. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. People who are more entertaining than me were streaming. So.
Said. Now, the filing also included some visual aids. One specific
Certainly
visual aid
aids.
that's been getting a lot of attention.
Oh my God,
and
this.
It is this photo of the classified documents. So for those of you listening to the audio version of the show, if you haven't seen the image, I'll describe it a little bit. So the documents are marked as classified and top secret /
Yes, and he was allowed to have them because he was president of the United States. Anna, the president. Now, I don't know if you know this. I know that you know this, though, because you're fine with Biden wielding supreme executive power. The president has unique power over classification of documents. The ones that he can see, more than anybody else pretty much in the government. There's some things that I do believe that are held secret even from the president. But if they're in his possession, he's allowed to see them because he's the fucking president.
Yeah.
He's allowed to have these documents. Again, months ago, back in January, there was an inquisition into this. Is inquisition the right word? Inquest into this, let's put it that way. He was told, he handed over all the documents they wanted. He said, is there anything else you want? His lawyer said that. They said no, he was allowed to have the rest of them. I love this picture. She loves it too, but for different reasons. They put this header that says top secret on front of all the ones they've blacked out with white pieces of paper so you can't see what's on them, right? They just want you to see. And then it's like by the way, in the box, it's like newspapers that have been framed. They were taking those too. Okay.
SCI and the red document that is marked secret SCI, those are the kinds of documents that you can only review in a secure government facility. So there are different levels of classification.
Mar-A-Lago, as the president's home, is a secure location. This is insane.
And that is one of the highest forms of classification, which is why this is a serious matter. You're not supposed to just have these documents laying around.
Hey, how do you feel about Hillary Clinton having all of those private secret documents that she was sending around in unsecured emails? How about that, Anna? That was just available on the web to be hacked, which it was. Was that a problem? Oh, it wasn't a problem, Anna. That was fine, but her emails, though, that contained top secret documents, that's fine, right? For her to send those through an unsecured Google document? Okay.
Your residence at a resort. So there's that. Now, the Justice
Department
effort...
not Google document, Google account. Jesus. Like, again, just the hypocrisy is off the charts.
We should understand what the timeline is. And we should repeat the timeline over and over again to make it very clear that this isn't some unfair political hit job. Trump had every opportunity to just comply, give them the documents. We wouldn't have even known about all of this, but he wouldn't comply. So here's the timeline. The Justice Department effort began in May after the FBI examined 15 boxes of documents the National Archives had previously retrieved from Mar-A-Lago after months of asking Trump's representatives to return missing records. The Bureau found 184 classified documents in that initial batch. But those weren't all of the documents, as we have learned. So on May 11th, department lawyers obtained a subpoena to retrieve all materials marked as classified that were not turned over by the former president. On June 3rd, his team presented FBI agents with 38 additional documents with classified markings, including 17 labeled top secret.
Again, he's allowed to have all these.
There was more. Trump's lawyers present during that visit explicitly prohibited
lawyers that the FBI had moved off the direct premises. By the way, Anna, you forgot that part? Where they also wanted the CCTV shut off. Why would they want that?
Government personnel from opening or looking inside any of the boxes that remained in the storage room, giving no opportunity for the government to confirm that
because they didn't have a proper freaking warrant. They shoved the warrant in front of the face of one of the lawyers for about 15 seconds and then removed it. So no, you didn't properly have a warrant for this. And when you do release the warrant, it's so heavily redacted, no one can even tell if you actually had the proper capacity. But there doesn't seem to be any of this. And yeah, classified at the time. Is it classified now? We don't actually know.
Documents with classification markings remained, the filing said. So at the time, by the way, you also have the issue of Trump's lawyer, Christina Bobb, lying and telling the DOJ, no, that's it. Trump handed everything over.
It's not a lie. He handed over everything he was asked to hand over. It's not a lie, Anna. You are lying.
Okay. Bobb's statement was attached to the department's filing on Tuesday. In it, the lawyer wrote that, quote, based upon the information that has been provided to me, there had been a diligent search and all documents responsive to the subpoena were being returned. But the FBI uncovered multiple sources of evidence indicating that the response to the May 11th grand jury subpoena was incomplete and that classified documents remained at the premises, notwithstanding.
They were already asked about this. They said they didn't have a problem with anything he had. Like, there's no more point in going over this. Anna's just gonna lie for the rest of this. Oh my God, I don't want to keep repeating myself.
There had been multiple people working with civilian witnesses. Okay, so people probably within Mar-A-Lago who knew something's up here. And what was
Did you
found
pay
during
them?
The final raid, right? The filing noted that the FBI, in a matter of hours, recovered twice as many documents with classification markings as the diligent search that the former president's counsel and other representatives had.
Again, you had every opportunity to do this without a full-on fucking raid. You chose to do this because you want to, again, scare Americans into voting for Trump or voting Republican. That's what this is about. Let's be real fucking clear. It's the same thing as Biden's speech. They want to scare people into being afraid to support Trump. They want to scare you and say, if you do, we'll lock you up for 3 years like we're doing with the Jan 6 people. We're going to just come and search your house. It doesn't matter if you comply with us or not. We'll just do it because we don't care. Because this is a complete, we're teetering on the edge of a total fucking dictatorship. I guess fortunately for those of us who don't like this is that it's a very incompetent dictatorship, right?
Weeks to perform. A fact that it said calls into serious question the representations made in the June 3rd certification and cast doubt on the extent of cooperation in this matter. He thinks he's above the law. He was hiding classified documents. He had multiple opportunities to just hand everything over and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. So for anyone—
He did do it though, Anna.
Who might look at this investigation and think it's unfair to Trump.
It is.
I just want to ask you, if you break the law, how many chances do you get to right that wrong before you're prosecuted? I'm serious.
Look, you just want to put him in jail, okay? We know about this. Good luck trying. I'm going to go for another 20 minutes. Then we will head over. I know we'll be late to watch whatever movie Kiz is streaming. I feel bad about that. But I know that Spoon is very tired. So we'll wait for like another 20 minutes till the hour to get through a couple more of the articles and things that I had set up. But in relationship to the Trump stuff, so here's, I keep mentioning it, and I know that a lot of people have seen it, but I do just want to show you guys, if you have not seen it, the affidavit being released on the Mar-A-Lago raid. It is 11 of the pages in the affidavit are blanked out. 23, substantial portions of 23 other pages substantially blacked out. There's no reason to go over the entire thing, but just so you can get an idea of what we're talking about. Hang on, I have a script account. No, yeah, okay. Now let me in. There we go. Okay. Just to give you an idea, we can go through this, but I just want to show you just how much is redacted. I know it's become a meme. Here, see, not a whole lot redacted here. A lot of this is just citing of statutes, though, okay? Classified information. Here is the actual part where it comes into why. This is the part that's important, right? Okay. National Archives did not find anything that were given upon request. Presidential records in an ordinary and routine process to ensure the preservation of my legacy in accordance with the Presidential Records Act. An image of this statement is below. Oh, great. Redacted. 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 Look at this. Look at this. This is them, by the way, this is what Anna was calling the I don't think she called it this specifically, but this is the transparency of Biden's DOJ. Look at how incredibly transparent they are. I mean, I didn't think that black lines were transparent, but, maybe they identify as transparent, so I don't want to, identify the status of these straight out just black lines. Again, if you're like Anna, who says this is all straightened by the board, why didn't Trump just give it over? Why are people upset about this? Oh, no. Well, look at the transparency of Biden's Department of Justice. Look at this. Really? We got the conclusion. I mean, you can't even know who signed off on it, right? Of course not. Of course you can't. Of course you freaking can't. Also, Anna went over this, but it's the same thing. The Justice Department is saying that Trump was obstructing their search because his lawyers were present. If that was not clear from what Anna said, because she often tells lies. To be fair, the DOJ has said this as well, that Trump was obstructing their search Because his lawyers were present. That's not a good sign. You can't have your legal representation present? That's obstructing your search? That sounds like you wanted to do something illegal. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying it sure sounds like you did, though. Oh, I did want to bring this up earlier. I forgot about this, but considering that Biden called everybody fascist, I do want to say that CPAC did have a banner, or called everyone domestic terrorists. This is now an excuse that's being used that, oh, CPAC said that they were all domestic terrorists. You can see we are all domestic terrorists. This is, of course, tongue-in-cheek, because you keep calling all Republicans domestic terrorists. So that's why they put this on at CPAC. And the response is to be like, oh, well, they're just admitting that they're domestic terrorists as a badge of honor. No, we're mocking you. And you keep doubling down and calling half of Americans domestic terrorists. That's what you keep doing. This is not a, like, oh, my Snopes fact check. No, you are calling 70 million Americans domestic terrorists. That's why CPAC put this on their stage. Because they're mocking you. And as usual, you can't understand even boomer memes. Which is insane. And, like, you know, I'll go through the last couple of things here. Because I want to get through tonight. We didn't get through before. Even the Rolling Stone, former Rolling Stone editor, has the perfect analogy for the FBI's raid of Mar-A-Lago. Which is that this is ridiculous. Excuse me for giving a damn, but what happened to the Trump raid story? 2 weeks ago, the FBI raid on Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home was the biggest story on earth and seemingly one of the most consequential American news events since 9/11. The search inspired a few hours of social media jubilation, followed by roughly a week of frenzied leaking as a parade of national security soothsayers unspooled sinister scenarios on TV, and then nothing. The line went dead. By last week's end, the cancellation of Brian Stelter on CNN was a top national headline in comparison, with a caveat that the relatively quiet could be upended by a court decision Thursday. Could we pause to reflect on the oddness of this episode? Has a story this big ever receded to the back pages this quickly? And we know why. The reason why is because it's BS. It is actual fake news. Once the FBI finished searching, everyone from Andrew Cuomo to The New Yorker to Mother Jones to George Will at The Washington Post pointed out the obvious, that the Justice Department needed to quickly produce an explanation, if not an indictment, to avoid the disaster of allowing the perception of politicized raid to fester. They didn't do this, so instead they just kind of hid it, and now they're like, oh, look at these pictures of nothing. In sum, Joe Biden didn't know the raid was coming. Hard X to doubt on that one, by the way. Merrick Garland blamed Trump for the raid becoming public at all. Yeah, why don't you just be quiet, shut your mouth, and take it, bitch. And took 3 days to take responsibility for ordering it. And Trump's crime has moved from mishandling nuclear documents to keeping sensitive, compartmented information. You remember that? Remember like the 3 days where this was about Trump having the nuclear codes, and that's why they were allowed to raid him? And now it's he had some documents that he was supposed to turn over. Maybe he was supposed to turn over, I don't know. Whose possession by Trump poses exceptional grave risk to the United States. Something about all of this stinks. Again, this is former Rolling Stone editor. On one hand, we're in the same place we've been 100 times in the Trump era, waiting for a big reveal. We were here before Michael Cohen's testimony, before the Mueller report, a big nothing burger, by your words, before the Ukraine whistleblower, the Barr memo, countless other expected bombshells. On the other hand, the evidentiary hype train has been turned off early this time. The deadline for more news out of Reinhart's court about what's inside the affidavit is this Thursday. Well, that's coming past, when Garland is supposed to submit his proposed redactions. Yet the story is getting more coverage on Fox. Gutfield incredibly surged the top of late-night comedy ratings after the raid than in the mainstream press. No shit, because you don't have anything, and because it's an embarrassment. Because it's totalitarian, authoritarian nonsense. And so, of course, only Gutfield is covering it, because it makes the Democrats look bad, because it's insane.
Thank you, there we go.
Which appears to be tiptoeing back from the case, much as administration officials did in the first week. Unless Garland and the Biden administration give a clear idea of what exactly precipitated the Trump raid, they still have not.
By the way.
Yeah, whether it involved Trump funneling the names of spies to Putin. Nope.
Get Trump out of power, that's all I care about.
Leaving lunch codes out on a pizza box. I think he's being facetious here, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Whatever. Trump is going to continue to hammer this issue. And he should. Unless the man is literally in manacles before November of 2024, this mess will remain an open wound for Democrats. Yes, you just basically tried to put him in jail over nothing.
You just admitted that this entire thing has nothing to do with actual law, it's just politics.
It is pure politics.
Yes.
Even if the raid wasn't politically motivated, and it was, it will continue to look politically motivated if the Justice Department doesn't come up with a better explanation. Look at even this guy. He's like, just come up with an excuse.
Yeah, that's my
Than the 6 or 7 leaked so far. Yet everyone is acting like that question has been answered. Former Rolling Stone editor.
Matt Taibbi.
Yeah.
I noticed this because I did a video on this.
I do like Matt Taibbi, but it is important.
He's
hey,
one
look.
of the few lefty readers who are like, or writers who are sane.
Right.
He's good people.
He is. 2 more things I wanted that was brought up earlier. One of the things that was brought up earlier is that the Biden scary speech was to incite the right into doing bad stuff, right?
It does make them the right, but rather the left. It does make
don't yawn. It's social contagion. Did you see this? Here's the Patriot Front training for war. Now, again, there's no online forums that anyone has ever produced where the Patriot Front organize. I've seen their website, but there's no forums or anything like that. There's no 4chan. There's no Kiwi Farms type thing. They just appear. All in a uniform. In uniforms and in clearly mass-produced gear.
From China.
Probably. But this is supposed to be a bunch of random white supremacists who've organized on the internet. Do you believe that?
No.
Here we go, though. They're very scary. You don't get too scared. Don't pee your pants. Did you see Michael Vick? Oh my god, look at these little fairies.
They look like discounted shock troops.
Oh my god, march in place. Oh my god.
Stagger right. Stagger right. Right. You guys in my town?
Dude, Fed boys, just stop it. This is so embarrassing.
Help each other out.
Why are the other, 100 or whatever just standing behind with flags?
That's perfect. Hey. All right, that's good. Circle. Back.
Okay, we're all aware that these are FBI agents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or CIA. I don't think anyone's confused about that one. You know what I mean? I think we all know. I think that glows brighter than the goddamn sun. I do have one more thing that I wanted to end on, which is that I think did you send me this one? The Banana Republic chart or graph.
I guess in that.
Trump and close allies have argued that multiple investigations he's facing, and in particular the search on his Mar-A-Lago property, are something out of a banana republic. But former leaders have been jailed or charged all over the world. What is this supposed to prove, by the way? I love this article of being like, first of all, I didn't know Iceland was a banana republic at some point, but okay. It's just pure fucking cope. We'll go through this real quick. President Trump have alleged that, the big picture, investigations into former leaders are hardly rare around the world in at least 76 countries. Leaders who left office since 2000 have been jailed or prosecuted, including democracies like France, Israel, and South Korea. Now, that's very true. Yeah, France, Italy, here we got Portugal, Iceland. But do you notice a trend onto where the majority of these countries are? Oh, are they in South America, aka banana republics? Africa, Southeast Asia. You have a couple in it's complicated. And even one of which country is that in Europe? I'm actually not sure. So the reality is that the vast majority of countries where this happens are not in the West. Okay. They really want to harp on a couple where it's the case, but basically it's okay for the U.S. to be a banana republic because others have been banana republics as well. I think with that though, we did have some more stuff, but you know, I wanted to get through this. We had to watch the whole Brandon speech. I know that Spoon is very tired, so I will turn off my thing. And I know that we'll be late, but if you want to hop into Kizza, who is streaming a movie over on the Broken Crown channel, and I'm sorry for being late on that one, then I will head over there in just a moment after I go use the restroom, and I will join you all there for a little bit of chat and movie watching, even though I'm about a half an hour late to the film. Sorry for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad that we were able to get through the stuff we wanted to get through and get through the new Dark Brandon fun times of our new dystopian future. Thank you guys so much for showing up, and we will see you next Wednesday. Take care. And